legalize a plant that literally does nothing to anybody except make rope and paper.
And cars. You can make cars out of it.
Yeah. I saw that Harold and Kumar. No, it wasn't Harold. It was Cheech and Chong. That's right.
No. Ford legitimately made a car.
No. There was a Cheech and Chong movie where they like drive a van made out of marijuana from Mexico to like California.
I like that.
So now we've been live for like a minute or two now.
Oh yeah, brother.
But it's been a very, very enlightening conversation with you filthy criminals here. Hello everyone. Hello audience. Hello patrons. Please tell me if anything is wrong with the audio levels and such. I have a story that I want to start with. This story. It's very important. The other day, I was at your grandma's house. She was making weed brownies, because that is what she does. She gets the weed and she gets the brownies. She actually grows the weed in her garden, does the brownies, I pay her, everything's fine. But this time, she said, well, Burger, I know that my grandchild... son or daughter, grandson or granddaughter, whatever gender they are, or maybe another different gender, who knows, I'm very progressive as a grandmother. Whoever my grandchild is, they watch your channel and they talk about it all the time because they love you so much and they think you're the greatest content creator in the world, which I agree with, obviously, because it's true. And geez, Grandma, come on, you don't have to be, I'm not that good. I'm just maybe like 90% of that. Well, be that as it may, I will give you today's batch of weed brownies for free, and I put extra love into them. If only you tell my grandchild to maybe give me a fucking call once in a while, Jesus Christ. So, thus, this episode of Fast Food Thursday is sponsored by your grandma. So go, when this is over, give your grandma a call.
The only accurate part of that story was the fact my grandmother wouldn't remember.
My grandma's been dead for 7 years.
Yeah, I was about to say, my grandma's been dead since 200007.
Mine's downstairs.
That's because you didn't call her, dude. It's your fault.
Well, I was in the realm of the dead also.
I did call her, and like 5 hours later, she died.
Burger fucking killed her, man. What's your problem? Her, and she says you don't call enough. Go to a psychic or something.
Stream seance, boys.
So
go get Long Island Medium to talk to your grandma for you.
Oh.
In terms of beer, today's beer is apparently in French. Okay, it says things in French. It's a pale ale with peach. It's very fruity. I like it very much. The mug I have is a bit large for it, but now we can go on. How have you all been this past month of February?
Microphone.
It's been terrible.
Played in one
it's
of
been
the...
absolutely nightmarish. There's been nothing but white shit coming from the sky.
My phone exploded and I had to send it off.
I play Edroll. That's good.
Yeah. I think I told you privately, Burger. I've been working 12-hour shifts outside in northern U.S. and I've kind of gone a bit mental.
Yeah, you've become a Yeti, I hear. It's like you've been spotted in the Himalayas, and I thought, no, that's not in the northern U.S.
No, it's just mostly. Here's a topic idea for an episode if you ever think about doing something like it: mental health and climate change. Because
being underwater makes me sad.
Up at night, to think that. Like, I like living on the coast, but I might have to move away to, like, Switzerland or the Netherlands, because really, when climate change is done and the whole world is underwater, the only country that will have gained land is the Netherlands, because they've been doing that for, like, 1,000 years. They are utterly unimpressed by climate change.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fucking...
It's like, you had the massive refugee crisis, and then you just have the little things where it's like, oh hey, it's gonna be 6 months of pure hell because it's either gonna be too hot or too cold, you know.
So really, it's gonna be 12 months of pure hell.
Yeah, but you forgot something. It's snowing outside, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
There's I see snow right there.
Well,
on the ground.
Well, okay, like previous years, people around here would joke like, "Oh, how about that global warming? How about that?" And it's like they shut up this year. They're like, "Oh,
lied to me."
Yeah, well, this year they're like, "Oh, this might actually get really fucking bad."
I wanted to be dead by now.
Yeah.
I want my
oceanfront property.
It's so like this probably won't be my children's problem. It might be my problem. Okay.
Well, yeah, it's probably
That's gonna get
but like even that, right? Oh, it's just I'm going to have a brilliant life, consuming shit that I don't need from the other end of the world instead of trying to get solutions that I grow my mangoes maybe in like a fucking grow house in the garden, which is entirely possible and realistic. I don't have to import them from the other end of the world because after all, I want the best for my children. Like huge problems when the region where the vast majority of people live in the world becomes uninhabitable on account of it not being on land anymore. So yeah.
Good.
Civilization 6 added climate change to it.
Are clogs waterproof?
It's okay. Civ 5 still better.
Yeah.
Do they make wooden Crocs?
Do they make wooden Crocs?
So you can walk on water.
I think those are those like Netherlands shoes or whatever.
That's how they walk on water. Dude, they have the wooden Crocs on. They float.
Okay, from my past experience last week, this picture that was just posted of everybody fleeing towards the red states, that is absolutely true, because I was stuck in LA all week last week due to a breakdown, and California really fucking sucks. I hate California.
People are actually fleeing to like the Rust Belt and the red states.
New York have a huge
it's so cheap.
and New Jersey have a huge sack of balls?
Yeah. Well, that's New York City, isn't it?
No, New Jersey's just really soft.
That's Long Island, isn't it?
No, that's Long Island.
Yeah, shit.
Long Island is New York.
I hate New York.
It's the only part of New York that's like.
Did everybody die?
Liberal.
Who said that? Step up. Step up.
In New York, I told you. I've said this already, Cable.
I'm gonna suck your dick so fucking hard right now. I'm going down to Cleveland. Bet.
Come at me.
You just committed to gay.
Wait, you're 18 now, right?
Yeah, it's legal.
Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna suck your dick.
All right.
Faggot.
Gay. Fucking queer.
That's gay.
And what is IL? Isn't IL Illinois?
Yeah.
Illinois. That doesn't make sense.
Chicago is why they're doing that.
Yeah, because the state, for the most part.
Liberal be bad is their point.
Purple State gang. A lot of gang shit.
When you're in the middle. Upstate New York is also like very Republican.
Yeah.
It's only Long Island and New York that is.
It's just the places that have the most people.
Yeah, it's like Minnesota and Illinois are blue states, but that's only because Minnesota has the Twin Cities and Illinois has Chicago.
You get out to like Blue Earth County and it's a completely different world.
That's the only reason. It's just the majority of people in that state are that.
Come down to Ford County and
you see that pretty much everywhere, right? Any large city is going to be dominated by Democrats. Even the Texans in large cities are getting dominated.
That being exposed to other people and finding out that they're not that bad after all sort of makes you no longer hate them irrationally.
I don't irrationally hate people, and I live in the city.
What are we talking about?
I'm also not a blue.
I don't know. There's a lot of people that irrationally hate people in the city. It's just for different shit.
I irrationally hate everyone in the city.
Yeah, they hate Republicans irrationally.
Listen, guys. In the city, you learn to irrationally hate everyone, not just the Browns.
That's not irrational.
We hate everyone equally.
Yeah, that's true.
I see a black man or a white person walking down the street, and I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you.
And I cross the street. But only for the black one.
You piece of shit. You fucking asshole. Why would you invade my space like this?
Hey, buddy, have you ever heard of castle doctrine?
No.
Castle law? Yeah, step up to my house, see what happens.
Stand your
It'll look like
ground.
my high school.
You violated my NAP by breathing on me because you might have given me a cold. Thus, I am allowed to shoot
I
you.
violated the law. Pay your fine.
Back in my day, climate
Austin
change.
says invest in floating cities. Yes, and also I look forward to when skyscrapers are pretty tall, and there's a lot of skyscrapers in coastal cities that even if climate change gets like the maximum level of sea level rise, they will still be above the waterline. I look forward to those cities because that's going to turn out to be very interesting.
I mean, they're probably going to be like abandoned at that point, aren't they? Like, if you have, honestly, if it gets to the point where like major cities are flooding, they're going to be evacuated.
Yeah, but like there's gonna be a big sort of space problem, and people will still want to live by the sea. So there's gonna be a lot of people who just then move into these luxury super mansions or these former commercial spaces, even if these places have been officially abandoned, and they'll just live there as, you know, poor people.
Oh, absolutely.
I don't think so, because you wouldn't have the infrastructure. You wouldn't have the infrastructure necessary to support those places.
You could have infrastructure built on, like you could have use.
They wouldn't have running water.
It would.
Like this, we're talking about a post-apocalyptic
scenario. You just
scenario
have to solve
here.
that problem yourself.
Listen,
by peeing on
the scenario for climate change, right, is going to be that the coastal cities are going to go away. We're going to have like no food left, and we're going to have massive amounts of people flooding into. Like everything that's in the center of the country, though, is going to be like.
I hate to say
the massive economic upheaval of all world governments, and like, you know, the fucking massive influx of new people and the rising prices of food. Everyone in the middle of the country will be fine.
I hate to break it to you, but I think that this coming
in Florida, I'm the first to go.
It's gonna be like most apocalypses, where most people don't know what's happening and they just go on with their lives.
Probably.
You can't not learn what's happening. This is like we live in a very people don't understand how unstable civilization is. How everyone is always pushing it in every different direction, and that balances it out. And then is gonna come the flood and the huge tidal wave, and literally the majority of the world's population lives by the coast. The majority of all intelligentsia lives by the coast. The majority of all innovation is done by the coast. Even the majority of all manufacturing is done by the coast. The majority of all infrastructure relies on the coast. This will shake up everything.
Well, of course it will shake up everything, but people are still going to exist and live. They're not going to buy high-rise apartments in fucking...
No, they're not going to buy high-rise apartments. They're just going to move in there as long as the skyscraper is still standing.
Okay, Burger, let me apologize, because I may have not prefaced this with saying that most people right now live on less than a couple dollars a day. So it's like, for those people, they're still struggling. They're still gonna struggle.
Yeah, they're gonna struggle harder, man.
It's just gonna be that
fucking suck for us, because our lot, you know, it's like where our fall is gonna be way more noticeable to us than to most people on the planet.
It's going to be that Buster Scruggs meme where all of us poor people living in poverty just look over at all the people who lost fucking everything on the coastal cities, and we're like, first time, huh?
Yeah.
Well, so in my opinion, a thing like climate change is going to be a lot like the Bronze Age collapse, where just all of civilization just like fucking goes out for a while, and then a couple thousand years later, we'll get our shit together.
I don't think we know. I think that's the big thing. Like, we're all saying shit's gonna happen, but we don't know until it happens. You know.
I mean,
we know some of the effects
that
will happen
that we aren't foreseeing.
Yeah, but it could be better. It could be worse. We don't fucking know. We're really crafty
definitely gonna be worse. Like, there is no doubt that it's gonna be very, very bad.
Best case scenario is like every fucking the entire world economy collapses. Food becomes like irrationally expensive to purchase people starve in the thousands.
Thousands?
Sorry, not thousands.
Millions.
Sorry, the
Only
hundreds
the
of thousands, not millions.
All I know, the water comes here. We're just gonna do what we do to water around here. Set it on fire, just like the river and the lake. Just set that shit on fire. We'll get
throw
here.
some oil on it.
Oh, that's
Welcome to
right.
Ohio.
That's right. You live in Cleveland. I forgot.
Ohio, gang,
Can't let that happen.
Ohio gang, rise up.
Yeah, rise up, Rust Belt nationalist gang. You got your town will get knocked on the door by the Rust Belt nationalists, and you either assimilate or die. I can't wait.
Listen, guys, I got a plan. I'm gonna take
oxycodone or die.
I'm gonna take Florida, right, and I'm gonna saw it off at the Panhandle, and then I'm just gonna fucking push it out into the ocean, and I'll be okay.
Godspeed, Florida man.
Yeah, it's very Florida man of you.
Like, look at it positively. If we get this massive amount of water, you're gonna get a lot more water traffic into the middle of the Amazonas, so you can actually settle there. Positive outlooks, boys.
What?
Well, I mean, then we'll have oceanfront property, and we can like sell it.
You say
we're gonna have some
traffic
really
into
nice
the Amazon?
property in the next 10 years.
Yeah. The Amazon
Next
River is
10
gonna
years, we'll have to find
become
new ones.
part of the ocean.
There's
So
still
you
gonna
just-
be. Oh wait, never mind. There's not gonna be a jungle there anymore. Forgot about.
No. It's gonna be very.
Forgot.
little.
We're getting rid of that thing.
Yeah.
Might be a big marsh still, so it might just be a infested place for malaria, but who knows? Africa's gonna be nice. Like,
Malaria.
everyone
and
that lives in
Zika?
Africa is gonna die.
No, actually, Africa's. I mean, it's going to get super hot and they're all going to burn to death. But they're not actually going to have a lot of problem with flooding because most of Africa's pretty high up.
But the thing is, everyone lives on the coast. That's more the thing. Like Lagos,
Oh yeah, Lagos is gonna
Kinshasa, Dar
die.
es Salaam, all the large cities, Nairobi, are gonna be.
Nairobi's not on the coast. Mombasa's on the coast. Nairobi's very far inland.
Yeah. Okay.
And there's a mountain
Yeah.
range in between it and the coast, so it's like Nairobi's gonna be fine, but like a lot of the big time cities are not gonna be fine at all.
Yeah, because Lagos is the largest city in Africa right now, and they think that Kinshasa is going to become the largest city in like a couple of years, and then Dar es Salaam is going to be number 2. So just, and of course Egypt.
Dystopian
Oh,
mega
boy.
cities.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for the entire
That
Eastern
reminds
seaboard
me,
to turn to one
Burger.
city.
I want my fucking Shadowrun video about Metro. What was it? The fucking Brazilian city.
Yeah, look. I'm going to release it in conjunction with a novella I'm writing,
that's
and it's gonna come out in 20 years.
So
Will it
let-
have more? Will it have more or less Italian or street samurai?
It will have significantly fewer Italian orcs. It'll have 0.
So like last night I was talking with a friend and we were talking about the Finno-Korean hyperwar meme, which I just
Never
posted.
heard about that.
Oh, it's a meme up from the 4chan history board where it's like, oh, there used to be great civilizations in the past, and they've all collapsed and shit. It's a joke meme about like how like Assassin's Creed and Halo has the long history where humans were a great civilization and they collapsed into primitive bullshits. But we were talking about the 4chan meme, and we were talking about it's like, what if there isn't a great filter, but what if all sentient life in the universe is just doomed to reset every like 10,000 years or so?
Well, the thing about this is that if there was any advanced civilizations, if there had been any advanced civilizations in the past, we'd know about this. Because, I mean, we can find archaeological evidence just like 2 weeks ago, I think, or like last week. Like last month, my girlfriend has been on an archaeological dig. Where they've been just like a couple random houses and some furnaces that some people 10,000 years ago used to smelt metal. And this is all of these materials, they deteriorate quite quickly when compared to many of the things that like a modern civilization has. Like for instance, plastic. We have never ever found plastic in any sort of archaeological context.
Doesn't plastic take like 1,000 years, only if like 1,000 or 10,000 years to
I think it depends on the
No.
compound.
Yeah, probably, but
like an example I'd like to point out is that we know a lot about the fall of the Roman Empire. Like that was the fall of the Roman Empire into the Dark Age. That was pretty apocalyptic. Before that was the Bronze Age collapse, and we really don't. I mean, as far as I know, we don't know a whole lot about what happened there.
We know a lot,
but we know
sea people, homie. We know about them sea people.
The sea people.
Sea niggas.
Yeah.
The sea people came up with it.
But we do know that they didn't have advanced technology like cars and Skyrim. We know they didn't have that.
There would be pyramids, buddy. Explain the pyramids.
Check the white men destroyed Africa.
Here's my favorite thing about the pyramids. It's people like to say, oh, they don't know how they built the pyramids. Yeah, this is true to the extent that archaeologists just don't know which of the numerous techniques that have been proposed, which would have been completely possible with the technology of the time, were actually used to build the pyramids. That is like how they don't know.
Nah, dog.
Let me just defend myself for a second. I agree completely that
I'm not attacking you, man. We're just having a talk.
Throw it down.
I know how a single person can move a 10-ton block. With a block and tackle, a single human can move many tons of material. I understand how all that happens. We were drunk and they were high and drunk and we were just shooting. We were just like, what if there isn't a filter? What if it's just a great reset button? And it's like you fuck something up and you have to start over again. And all civilizations doomed to just restart every couple thousand years. That's what we were just getting at. It's like is that even worse than the Great Filter?
There is a case to be made for that, right? There is a certain cyclical nature to civilization where you very often have it builds up and then something collapses and then something else picks up the slack, and there's phases where technological development and the like is faster than during others. But there was the Bronze Age collapse, but we still kept a lot of the knowledge and the technology from before that, and then with the next collapse we still had a lot of the technology and knowledge, and a lot of it we had to get back, a lot of it we found in records, a lot of it we rediscovered. But if there is another collapse, people are just not gonna magically forget that there was once computers, and like not all people who know how computers work will suddenly die.
Well, it's like a lot of people lament that a bunch of angry Romans burnt down the Library of Alexandria. They lament like what knowledge was lost and what
most of the stuff was moved out by then.
Yeah, but it's not gonna be fucking laser pistols that was in the Library of Alexandria.
Oh no,
it's gonna be historical records, just interesting shit.
It's not gonna be ancient stuff that was like super advanced. It's going to be things that, if they were kept around, maybe could have advanced civilization a little faster. Like maybe. Well, I'm not saying astronomy a bit.
And I'd say too, art has improved so fucking much since then. I mean, we have millions of copies of almost everything now. I really doubt we'll lose that much.
Yeah,
just because the amount of stuff. Yeah, that we.
I see another problem is that a lot of our knowledge is digital now, and storing that. I mean, depending on how you store it, is a lot better than on paper or
we got the Library of Congress.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to have a lot of problem. We're going to have, if there's a collapse, we're going to have a problem that we will have too much information. And we're going to have to sift through the furry porn and the fucking, the Harry Potter fanfiction.
There's too much information.
Oh my god, can you imagine fucking historians in like 1,000 years sifting through everyone's Discord and finding like Nazi Pepes and furry porn?
I imagine that we're not going to advance in the next like 1,000 years that much if we don't figure out how to sift through that much sooner. Like we're gonna have to come up with some sort of great filter system to get through.
No, it's just the same thing is gonna happen that has always happened. is that it's just gonna go away. Except this time it's gonna be recorded for a while, but we don't know most of what happened to most people during most of history. We still progressed. All the important shit is still in the important databases.
We also
Like
don't document
in the
every
Library of
fucking
Congress,
second
they
of
don't
someone's
have
life
Harry
now.
Potter fan fiction.
Self-document.
What? Why
We
don't
need
they?
that.
I'm gonna go get another different beer.
This
It's
sounds.
necessary.
This is a fucking embarrassment to our country.
Oof.
Well, one of my favorite things related to shit like this is I don't even know if it's real or not, but it's like it was like at this archaeological dig, they found this writing on the roof of a building, like on the ceiling, and they couldn't and like the archaeologists couldn't read it, so they got like ladders and shit to go up and read it, and it's like this spot's really high up. That's all it said. It was just like a shitpost. It was like 1,000-year-old.
I love 1,000-year-old shitposts.
Yeah.
The amount of fucking dicks they find in Pompeii is just insane.
It's humans have not changed very much.
We've always liked drawing dicks on
The
things.
Epic of Gilgamesh is actually just a 4chan post. Let's
There was,
be
I
real.
think it's the Hagia Sophia, where there's this spot in like a piece of rock where some Viking just
Oh,
wrote
yeah.
in runes, "I was here."
I was here. Yeah, I know. I know.
Yeah.
Is it what he was on one of the the Imperial Guard? Oh shit! What are they called again?
Imperial
Praetorian?
Guard.
Praetorian
no,
guards, yeah.
No, yeah, they had like the they had like a special name for them.
Big dick boys.
Yeah, well, 2 sec.
Well,
If you're talking about like if you're talking about like the Imperial Roman like guards, they were Praetorians.
Well, give me a
No, it's
second.
the Imperial
Hey,
Byzantine Guards.
Once you come back, 5 minutes.
Deer named Varangian Guard. That's what they are.
What if the Library of Alexandria was filled with fanfic? Let's be honest, right? All of Greek mythology, and just all of the people who wrote stories in Greek mythology, it was all fanfic.
That was
They
Dante's
wrote
Inferno. And
plays
that's one
of the
that's
things
one of the
that
fucking-
happened.
Dante's Inferno is a fan fiction. It's like one of the
Yes.
classics you're supposed to read in like humanities courses.
It's a fan fiction.
It is.
Literal
He fucking
Bible
puts it like his
fanfiction.
girlfriend as like the divine being who fucking tours him around heaven.
I like this one guy in the chat who says Elon Musk is trying to shorten the dark age. I like implying that Elon Musk is from Harry Seldon from the Foundation series. I kind of
What?
like.
Explain. You
Okay,
can't-
so who said it? Somebody in the YouTube chat said that Elon Musk is trying to shorten the coming dark age. I'm like, oh, so he's like Harry Seldon from the Foundation series.
Literally who?
I think the problem is that we don't know. I mean, I know what the Foundation series is. I've
Oh,
not
okay.
read
In
it.
the Foundation series, the Galactic Empire is going to collapse, and this guy named Harry Seldon is using made-up science made by Isaac Asimov called psychohistory and he claims that he's going to shorten the Dark Age from 30,000 years to 1,000 years, and they basically give him unlimited funding to complete this project to help mitigate the collapse.
Never heard of this anime before.
It's not. It's made by Isaac Asimov. you
It's one
fucking-
of the great science fiction classics.
yeah.
my favorite
Sci-fi.
up there with Hideaki Anno, man. Isaac Asimov, greatest anime man of all time.
Okay, Burger. You know what? I take back what I said before in DMs. I do not feel too stupid for your server.
Got
Because
him.
holy shit! At least I read Foundation.
I know Asimov. I have not read much Asimov. I'm actually starting to
He's
read a
like-
little bit more classic sci-fi, a bit more. Right now,
I
I'm going
went
to go
out
through
and
the Sprawled
bought-
trilogy.
Like the first Asimov book, and then I immediately lost it. So
Yeah,
I don't
no,
have time to read sci-fi.
I've been reading fucking Artemis by Andy Weir, and it's like cool, but the writing style is so snappy, but at the same time dry. It's not even overly science focused to the degree where it just slogs everything down like the Mars trilogy. It's really cool, but it's so scientific that all of the, like, only a science nerd could get excited about the stuff. It doesn't have dragons in it.
To read it.
It's not a bad book by any means, right? I am enjoying it. But this is one of the problems that I've always had with, like, science fiction, especially hard science fiction. It's like very often it's just diagrams and, like, complex descriptions of formulae, and so that some nerd who actually, one person who understands what the fuck the author also understands can sort of jerk off to the fantasy of something that he knows working
Burger.
in fiction. Also,
I don't kink shame you for your porn. All right.
Yeah. Could I make a book recommendation aside from Foundation?
No.
Books
Please.
bad, read bad.
please do go ahead.
Okay, there's a series. It's 3 books, but there's 3 parts to it. It's a Canticle for Leibowitz. It was written in the 60s, and the basic gist of it is nuclear war happens, society goes back to shit, and surprisingly, the Catholic Church becomes the predominant religion across America. And
fuck.
Isn't that the same
Those
premise as
fucking
as the sequel to Hyperion?
Isn't that the Handmaid's Tale, whatever the fuck it's called?
no, well, the basic gist it goes over the course of 1,000 years, where basically the Catholic Church becomes the predominant religion in the post-apocalypse, and they canonize a Jewish scientist from before the war, hence Canticle for Leibowitz. And then at the end of the book, there's another nuclear war, and everything just sort of resets. It goes back to shits. It's actually it's a great book, but I don't recommend it if you're depressed, because
I mean,
I just finished fucking All Quiet on the Western Front, dude. I'm up for anything.
yeah,
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Literally just an entire book of him being really sad about fucking all of his friends and everything he loved dying as he's alienated from the world that doesn't care about him. And then horses die.
Well, it's like in the first part, this monk. There's this monk in Utah who got robbed by a bunch of mutants.
I wanna stop right there and I just marvel at the phrase "this monk in Utah."
Well, yeah, that's where he's at. They talk about great salt flats, and what was Western America, and it's like, what other salt flat is there other than in Utah?
Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
No, just the idea of like a fucking like is it like a Middle Ages like fucking monk?
Yeah.
You do know that there are still monks, right? Like, monks still exist.
Yeah, there's
I know
like a lot
monks
of them.
still exist.
They rape nuns.
I think
But
they're like
he-
birds.
But he basically, he was robbed by mutants, so he's basically dying out in the desert. He finds his bunker, and he goes inside the bunker, and he sees the schematic that he thinks is holy text. He doesn't know what it's obviously like a blueprint schematic for some type of machinery, and he thinks it's a holy object, and he collects basically post-it notes from this guy named Leibowitz, and he's able to get back to his monastery and show them. They take all these objects and they treat them as like sacred. It's like these post-it notes saying, "Don't forget to pick up bread and milk before going home," and shit like that. And then in the second part, it's a few hundred years down the line. Another monk. What's that thing they do that Catholics do when they take something and they
be assholes?
Rape
Well, they
children?
lay it out.
Fuck.
Yeah, they like rewrite in like gold and shit. I forgot the name. What's called that process? But
Rape
they
children.
take the schematic and they lay it out in gold, and this other monk is tasked with bringing it to New Rome, which is our St. Louis. And so he's traveling across the country,
The
and then he
Pope is Brett Keane.
The Great
I'm-
Library
I-
of Festus, Missouri.
Gourd believer.
I'm really making this sound silly as hell, but
No, it's
I
cool
know
though. It's actually
It
fairly
is cool.
realistic. Let's be honest.
It
Yeah.
is cool, just we're fucking shitposting about Brett Keane.
I
Yeah,
can see
well,
Brett being the new pope.
well, and then he gets, and then like somewhere in what used to be like Kansas, he gets robbed and killed, and this mutant takes this holy object, and it's like, oh, gold, I can make money, and just takes it. And then the third book is like they've advanced to basically back to like the 20th century, and the empire of like Texarkana is going to war with a South American empire, and they both have nukes again, and it's just it's the same monastery in Utah, and it's like they're like desperately trying to save as many people as they can as like the nukes are falling.
I have this. I want to suck my own dick for unless you're not done talking.
No, I'm done because it basically ends with like the nukes are falling, you know. Things as much as things change, they really don't, you know, because Texarkana is going to war with South America, and if you don't, and I'm surprised nobody laughed at that because Texarkana is an actual town. And then
Is Will Meet Again playing in the background as the nukes fall?
Sure.
Good.
But I'm done. Canticle for Leibowitz. I'd recommend it. It's a pretty good classic sci-fi.
Could you spell that for me?
I'll type it out in the chat. I'll give you a link.
Okay,
to
thank
it.
you.
Yeah.
No.
For a moment now, I have to suck my own dick. We're talking
Yes.
about post-apocalyptic
That's
settings.
my
I
job.
have to.
Oh, let me go get lunch then.
Plug my
Ooh.
my short story channel.
Okay, I'll stay right back.
I do have the post-apocalyptic setting where this is an idea I stole from The Amazing Atheist, basically, where he had this video where he talked about how there's more McDonald's than churches in the United States, and there's just places where in a post-apocalyptic civilization, people people have forgotten what the world used to be like, the greatest remnants of the world that once was will be these huge pylons with golden arches on them, and they will begin to worship them as gods. And I did actually run with that idea and created the Church of McDonald's with it, where Ronald
Fucking
McDonald
Hamburglar.
is Jesus and the Hamburglar is Lucifer.
Oh,
And
fuck.
they do, yeah. And they even make like facsimile, like actual McDonald's arches are super rare and only like the rich churches can afford them. And in like other areas, they make facsimile of them as their holy symbol. It's really
Welcome to
stupid.
McDonald's.
So I just posted. Somebody made a map of the setting for Canticle for Leibowitz, and I'm right. Papal States is Missouri, and New Rome is literally St. Louis.
California is just California still.
New
Fucking
York-
Every
Norks.
time California is in post-apocalypse, it's always just still California.
Yeah, I couldn't
It's
agree
always
more.
communist. It's always communist in every
Like-
single fucking
like fucking
Commune.
Fallout, it's still California. In
New
fucking,
California.
Yeah, it's the new California. In Shadowrun, it's the California Free State.
But yeah, I like the cover for this book because you see like this medieval monk, and he's just in the middle of fucking Utah.
Also, right now I have this Quince IPA. It's pretty good. I don't usually like IPAs. It's pretty good. This one.
I'm drinking Luxus, a Polish vodka.
Oh,
I am
Luxus
drinking-
vodka. That's
I am drinking a charged original dew game fuel.
I'm drinking a battery energy drink and some water.
Mercury.
I think-
I'm drinking Mercury.
Yeah, I think
choice.
there are some batteries nearby that I can crack open and take a sip out of.
Nice cold.
I've got a leftover Summit Oktoberfest, and it tastes terrible, which is why it's left over from last season.
All I've
Oh,
had
yeah,
today
oh,
is
yeah,
grape
the-
soda.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
the state of Ohio. The state of Ohio is literally the forest people.
Hell yeah, brother.
I do not
It
understand
York.
this joke.
It's from the map I posted.
Yeah, well,
I've
never been to
orcs.
Ohio, so I can't attest to the fact of whether or not it's got a lot of forest.
We call
Ohio
them
is like half god
flatlanders.
awful and half really nice. I don't know.
Here,
It's like the best of both worlds.
We just
Here.
got crippling depression here in the cities,
Yeah.
but we got woods too.
That's the
Oh
best
yeah, I
part.
got to live in Cincinnati for a summer. That was a hell of a fun time.
That's like
used to-
Kentucky, though.
I used to live in a tiny town 50 miles from the, what is it, West Virginia? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
One of those
West
fucking
Virginia.
Duke-a-doo
also so.
states. The town was called Adelphi. We were near Old Man's Cave or some shit, and it was really flat there
Was the
until
old
you
man
went
Catholic?
south. Hopefully, I don't think so because I didn't get molested. But we went to that cave, and my older brother stepped on some sort of poisonous snake and almost got bitten, and that
Oh,
was
yeah,
funny.
brother.
He stepped on a poisonous snake.
Almost
Neo
died. Very
just
funny.
once again wasted $60. Hotel Wi-Fi is so bad I can't even flex my Jew money magic properly. Well,
I love you, the neo-illusionist.
yes,
I
I
love
do
you.
as well. Thank you.
You just love him for his money.
That is true.
You
Neo-illusionist.
whore.
I'd make it rain, but I gotta pay for new tires.
I have to get my
Don't
wisdom
give me
teeth out.
money when you don't have money yourselves.
Yeah,
I
I'm
know.
broke and I don't give him money.
Yeah, instead give it to me. Don't give
Yeah.
it to him.
Why don't you shut up, idiot?
Burger may have too much integrity to take money from poor people, but
I
I
don't have any integrity. Yeah,
Neither does
give it
AOC.
to me.
Somebody actually sent me something yesterday. I'm not gonna go into what it is.
Picture their
You,
dick.
you remember this thing? Obviously, you remember this thing where you had this pedophile rabbit hole on YouTube.
Yeah.
Somebody found a different rabbit hole that is not as fucked up, but still pretty fucked up.
Was
It
it like
didn't
some ordinary
and he contacted
gamer or
me
whatever?
because he didn't know who to get in touch
Yeah.
with, and I passed
Yeah.
it. The thing is, right? A lot of this is genuinely just sucking my own dick, but like I know a lot of people would have just made videos about this to be the first ones to expose this, but I don't want to be the guy who gets famous off the back of that
Another
thing.
apocalypse.
So I passed it on to another guy who passed it on to another guy who knows someone at YouTube, and so actually I just realized that I sort of know someone at YouTube also myself personally.
Subscribe to
Whoa.
Keemstar.
Well, you screwed up.
Biggest
I'm your
area.
host.
So they can
Kidder.
fix it, and there's not another apocalypse, and also
Nice.
that shit doesn't happen anymore.
Speaking of sexual predators, have you guys heard of that whole rape day controversy that's kind of happening?
I
What?
beg your pardon.
No, please
I-
explain,
Okay.
Caleb.
No, I thought that was like a not controversy because it's like
It's Steam being like, hey, we're not going to sell a game called Rape Day where the objective is to rape and murder people.
You know,
If only they
Yeah,
had
rise
such
up.
quality control with literally
guess.
all the other games that are published on
But
Steam.
wait, didn't they already have this
Hi, Neo.
controversy with hatred? Like, wasn't that a big thing? They're
It's
like,
basically the same
Hatred
thing.
wasn't
"We
even
do
very good,
this,"
though.
and then they caved.
Hatred, well, it wasn't terrible either.
Yeah,
Hatred
The
was a
game just
shitty game
sucked.
that
Really
literally
mediocre.
its entire
Rage
mo-
bait.
it was rage bait, exactly.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
all went
yeah,
off a bad
yeah,
controversy,
yeah, Hatred was just like an edgy shitty game.
and they made a lot of money.
Yeah, no, Rape Day. From what I understand, the context of Rape Day is that instead of like being the hero or being the zombie, you're like the fucking sociopath in the zombie apocalypse, where you're just like society's collapsing. Finally, I can be myself and just rape and fuck everything.
So GTA.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
well, you can't do that.
I
Except
hate
with
being
rape.
this. They just
It
appear
was
to
Yeah,
your
it's
Youth Artesian who fucking downloads some mods or something, and then
Well,
puts it on
you
their fucking
can't-
channel.
You can't rape, but you can pay a hooker to have sex with you and then beat her to death and take the money back. That's basically
Hey,
rape.
that's
like
no,
that raped in VR.
That's
Hey,
No,
not,
that's just a good
getting
business transaction.
That's not
That's-
rape.
That's
That's
theft, dude.
terrible, but that's
That's just
not
the
rape.
rules of
Yeah, that's
acquisition.
that's fucking
That's,
theft.
yeah.
Be a Ferengi.
Hey,
Hell yeah, but-
I'm just gonna say, if you're looking for a game on Steam to beat your dick with, just get Haiti. There's
Yeah.
so many girls in the
Listen,
Steam
I
workshop.
played Rising Storm 2 for that, dude.
Listen, I have a
like
fucking
watching
VR
Charlie
headset,
die.
right?
That's why I
Listen,
have me.
I have, a
Yeah.
VR, I have a VR headset. I don't need none of your plebeian porn games, okay? I'm gonna be jerking my dick like an aristocrat.
Man, I have a girlfriend, so that's crazy.
Dude, that's
I mean,
gay.
so do I, but
Wow, that's
Super
crazy.
amazing.
I'm gonna go get lunch.
Girls aren't real.
I'll be back.
Yeah.
Yeah, go get lunch. Yummy, yummy.
You know, like,
Commies in my tummy.
the other day I realized, whoa, I live an hour and a half away from the human trafficking capital of the United States. And then I just kind of didn't care.
What's the human trafficking capital?
Toledo, Ohio.
why is there so
Yeah.
much human trafficking there?
I have heard
Yeah,
so much about Toledo, Ohio. It's basically
Toledo's
the
a
most
shitty
famous
place.
city.
So I've been there that I remember once. I went to see a concert there. It's absolutely shitty. It's worse than here.
Whoa, in Ohio
Everybody's got new
City?
parents.
I know, right? And then my friend, when we were there, he's like, "Hey, dude, you know this is like the human trafficking capital of the United States." And I was like, "What?" Doesn't make sense. I mean, I get it. I guess you get people to Canada that way, but I don't know. So we should have let Michigan have fucking Toledo, because there was that whole fucking war that we fought and kicked the shit out of the Michigans.
Oh yeah, you guys
Michiganders.
still go on about that. The dude from Alternate History Hub made a full fucking video about that. You
Well-
guys are really proud of that.
Well, I mean, we kicked the shit out of the South in the Civil War, and we kicked the shit out of Michigan in the not Civil War. So, get beamed.
Gang.
I mean,
I like how in the Harry Turtle of Alternate History, like the Ohio Valley is just like the biggest war zone on the fucking planets.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's them Rust Belt nationalists here, dude.
Ain't
I do
safe
actually
in
want
these
to read the
streets.
Harry Turtledove series at some point.
I kind of wish he would continue it because right now it ends essentially at the end of World War II.
Is that his real name though? Like,
That's the name he goes by, and I
No,
don't.
his
think
name
that-
originally was Harry Sphincter, but then he had to change it.
Jesus.
Gotta do what
Harry
you gotta
Norman
do.
Turtledove.
Well, a fair warning, and the reason why Cody from Alternate History Hub really summarized the hell out of the book.
Hold on, there
is
can't
that-
be three. Hold on, there cannot be three Codys. This
he
just
is the
isn't allowed.
false Cody.
Okay,
Punish
whatever
Cody.
Cody is the Cody of Cody's over at Alternate History Hub.
I'm just confused now.
Can we point out the first two Codys, please?
Well, the thing is that he really summarized the fuck out of the whole timeline, and that's because Harry Turtle
Yeah, I saw his
doesn't know how to write personal relationships because his sex scenes are just so fucking bad, and
I
they're
hate
really
writing
not.
sex scenes.
Don't.
They're really not fucking necessary, and his
it
are
really isn't,
really
right?
bad.
I'm writing a novel right now where there's sex scenes from time to time because the main character's girlfriend is a prostitute, and
Aren't we all?
it's just some vague metaphor over one sentence. Everybody knows what's going on. The part where they lay in bed afterwards and talk is much more important to their personal relationship than the.
Excuse me, sir. Have you ever seen the movie called The Room? I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure these things are
Tearing
very
the
Listen,
important
the
to
plot
the
would
plot.
make no sense.
Right,
We didn't
Lisa.
have 30 minutes of sex scenes over really shitty 90s.
Oh, yeah, the
fucking
jazz.
R&B music.
And how they're both the same scene that they just repeat. They repeat it twice, and the woman looks
Reading it
super
one scene
uncomfortable.
and then it isn't whenever they get up.
What is this
But-
thing with the girl and the Pokemons? The Scottish
Scottish.
Pokemons.
Yeah, she's a female character. She's a female character for the new Pokemon game.
He's
It's set.
Scottish.
It's set in the United Kingdom, in an area likened to the United Kingdom.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Really?
Scottish.
Yeah,
There's
she's
all
Scottish.
Scottish jokes.
Oh, I gotta play this, eh? Fucking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I can give you some leaked designs if you want. They're really, really good ones.
You know, I actually could not read that until you told me it was Scottish, and then I could read it perfectly.
Water, pure water. In time, what? In time, I want it day or night. What?
Yeah.
Dude, here some
In
linked Pokemon
time, I
designs.
want it day or night. What? That doesn't.
Anytime I want it, day or night.
Oh my Jesus Christ! At any time I want it, day or night. That would.
Oh, hello there.
To grab me starter from the professor. Here's hoping the fucking monkey bastard grows in the right fine land. I honestly, with the way that Pokemon are going, I wouldn't be surprised if this was an actual design.
Okay, I like the. This is like a perfect duality of man. Oh, Pokemon starter's so cute. Go ahead, Burger. You do the Scotch accent better.
The
new female
ma
so
gets
cute.
Me ma gets so jail when I do anything fun, like on my, like not Matfold. I'm out of snorting lines and shagging nines. You have to stay home and bake lasagna. What the fuck?
That's just how Mafia works.
Old
Oh
joke.
my god.
Can't wait for the new Pokemon games, guys. I can't wait for it.
I
I
like
think
how...
listen, the real crime here is that the first one has 27,000 likes and the second one only has 1,000 likes.
But the new Pokemon isn't set in America. If it was set in America, it would be Gun.
Hell yeah,
Yeah.
brother.
If
Well,
it's set in the
there's-
UK, it's Switchblade.
Well, they already Pokemon Black and White were set in a
Acid
Pokemon version of New York, of New York City. So they've already done the United States before. It was mostly just like, oh, big city. Here's a fucking dirty pigeon Pokemon.
Bruh. Bruh, you deadass took my Charmander, bruh.
Lemmy is being a stereotypical Scottish person who is stingy and presenting free tap water as an amazing thing to Scots. Okay. I was not aware that Scots had the reputation of being stingy. I always thought they were just drunk and on heroin.
I like this one. Oi, slag!
Oh, I assume that she's from London.
Yeah.
Oi, slag! You want to have a Pokemon fight? as the Pope, Catholic, you cheeky tart.
All right, John
We need
Tron
to
is
have,
back.
we need to have a time tell meme timer.
I might
So it's
actually
like-
get this Pokemon game is the thing, because this actually...
I might too.
I
don't
haven't
even
played
like
a Pokemon
Pokemons.
game since Pokemon Red.
Yeah, so I know Black and White was set in a version in New York City. Sun and Moon was set in Hawaii.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
It was
this
like
game,
the Aloha
this game-
region or something.
Yeah, they literally called it Aloha.
It's
This
Alola.
game, yeah, or
Right.
Lola. This is set in the UK, and there's another one set in Paris, in
Yeah,
France.
Kalos, 6th gen.
Yeah, 6th gen. I forgot the name. X and Y was set in France. And your professor from that one was just so stunningly gay. Just like, oh my god.
So Frank.
I'd fuck him. I'd fuck him. Yeah.
All French people are bisexual.
Enchanté, j'ai préparé les pénals. That's what they say in France.
But I know a lot of people a lot of really into Pokemon people hate the new games, but I love them because they're really easy to play, and
That's my
I just
problem.
enjoy them.
Oh, that's my
You
issue.
can't get them on
Yeah.
PC, right?
No,
Well, apparently I'm not gonna play
really-
this game after all.
it's only on Switch.
No.
The new one is.
Yeah,
Switchblade?
No, the Nintendo Switch.
Oi.
The light
Also-
switch.
also,
You
Nice,
cheeky
mate.
cunt, there's no switchblades in England.
Also, for some reason, I think Nintendo and Game Freak are getting wise that people want to fuck their Pokemon because they make the Pokemon more
No,
a
say it.
better
Furry bait.
yeah, they're furry baits. The more and more Pokemon are becoming like furry bait now.
There's not been a thing that humans didn't want to fuck.
That's
That is
not
true.
true. Your
No,
mother
that is
Geese.
absolutely true. Well,
Very specifically, geese. I don't want to fuck them. I want to kill every single one with my bare fucking hands.
You might not-
Elliot Roger,
I
ER.
want to get a fucking
Fuck
Roman century.
geese.
Supreme gentleman.
It's like I looked up the starter for for Pokemon Sun and Moon Prime Arena with safe search on into Google, and the 6th pick is her with huge tits. Is that starter?
Fucking titties.
Nothing could be safer.
You have to cater to your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get a new audience.
Listen,
Guess-
I understand.
guess
There's this argument, right? Which era of anime is better? 90s, 2000s, 2010s?
80s.
2000.
And it's like, well,
It's
there's
the
80s OVAs as well.
1880s.
But
Yeah.
listen,
90s OVAs.
which one had the most giant fucking titties? That's the 80s and 90s.
All
So
anime
80s and
does.
90s is the superior one.
I wish we had today's technology, but like with the culture of the 80s. Like back when Attitude Era WWE was something that was actually like on broadcast television.
Super
And
cocaine.
people didn't get their panties in a bunch about that shit. Oh my god.
Hulk Hogan fighting a mecha Mexican.
Remember that time Vince McMahon called fucking John Cena my nigga?
Did that actually happen?
Yes.
Please tell me that happened.
Why do you think that didn't happen? No, he's like, how's it going, my nigga? And then Booker T is just like staring him down. He's like,
no.
did he just say?
Who's
Did
gonna
he-
fucking stop him?
Oh my god. I've seen that thing where Booker T accidentally says it in a promo run, but I've never heard Vince McMahon say it.
Well,
I've
that
seen
was
that, yeah.
that was not on purpose. That's my favorite wrestling promo.
Yeah, he looks so fucking sad afterwards.
He got a little bit too real.
Yeah.
He started yelling at him like he was yelling at somebody else.
All right, Hulk Hogan, I'm coming for you.
Hulk Hogan, I'm
I remember that too.
Say your prayers and take your vitamins.
Oh shit, on a tart, I've forgotten me fucking Pokeballs in me bedroom, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ.
I mean, you guys all remember that time The Undertaker threw Mankind off of Hell in the Cell to the Smash announcers
1998?
table, right? In 1998. Hell yeah, dude.
98,
You
my
weren't even
man.
Kane's brother, dude. You hear about Kane?
You know, what about his brother?
Wait, is John
What?
Cena black? What?
No,
No, John Cena's
Kane's brother. What?
Black.
Because there's a black guy in the thumbnail. Like, this one I
That's
can
Booker
understand.
T. That's
But the way I recall John Cena, he was invisible.
Jesus was a black man. John Cena is a black man.
Well, yeah, I mean, he puts his hand. He puts his hand in front of his face. You can't see him.
How do you know he
fuck,
puts
yo?
his hand in front of his face?
It's like fucking wipe effect. He like puts his hand in front of
Immunity
his
to
face and it just
invisible.
disappears.
Just
why I
a
have
forewarning.
cyber
Just a forewarning, Burger. This video is perfectly safe. Just don't play it on your stream until
Yeah, I
afterwards.
can't play it on the stream because it'll get copy claimed.
Yeah. Well, there's,
WWE will fuck you.
no, it's
The Plague of Gripes one.
yeah.
For the record, that Vince McMahon clip
Is this
in
an actual
What's Good, My
Pokemon?
Nigga is way worse
Wait,
than I thought
no,
it would be. And
okay,
it's so
okay.
good.
Yeah, that's Delphox and Lopunny right there. And
The
then
designs.
No. Well,
They've
what's
been-
all this then? Is that an actual Pokemon?
oh no, yeah, no, that's a fan
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
I really well. The Game Freak, they've done puns before with Pokemon, so they'll come up with something clever.
Can you actually put like tits in a thumbnail if they don't have nipples?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Plague
wish
of
I had
Gripes. Plague of Gripes gets away with it. I mean, he gets away with a lot of shit.
Guess I just gotta cut my nipples off.
Who has 2 thumbs and no nipples?
I mean, Plague of Gripe.
Better not put my picture in there again.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Plague of Gripe single-handedly made Viper from XCOM 2 attractive to people.
Play.
Wait, the Viper from XCOM 2 had tits.
Well,
Yeah,
he
but
made it okay.
it wasn't as sexy until Plague did it.
Yeah.
It probably wasn't sexy then also because it's not human.
That's
Says
what
you.
Shut up, fascist.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with fascism, alright?
Didn't
Look.
do nothing.
Look, as long as it's like anarcho-fascism is cool, alright, boys?
Yeah,
It's just been implemented wrong every time, okay? It'll work. They just haven't done it right.
Fascism has never
True
been
fascism
tried.
has never been tried. It hasn't. No, you're right. It hasn't.
I've actually heard that argument before.
Well, yeah, because it's true.
Furiously
Look, I mean, yeah, okay,
Holy
millions
shit,
of people
beast.
died and shit, but like that was just fake fascism. Like Hitler completely misread the shit Mussolini was doing. Mussolini completely misread the time traveling Gen Zers that went back in time to express fascism to them. Okay, they just
Oh, that's
They-
what
they just
happened?
think-
Oh, okay.
yeah, they don't get it.
Wait,
It
who's
just needs
that
to be tried
boy?
again.
Who's that?
Mussolini, more like
Someone-
No, that's
Mussolini.
I'm talking about
Yeah,
the kid.
Mussolini.
Someone's doxing me on stream is what's happening. You piece of shit.
Oh.
Dox yourself on stream, man. Flash.
I know.
Who has
Who's
two
it?
thumbs
Tortellini.
and a
Whose
penis?
whose child is this, and why is
Yeah, that's Adfash, homie. That's me.
man?
What
You
if-
do not.
what if
You do
you
not
suck
look.
his
You,
penis?
you do not look like a anarcho-fascist. Let me tell you.
Who's
he
the
looks
sassy
exactly
lost
like an
child?
anarcho-fascist. I have no idea what you're talking about.
All anarchists look the same, even if no matter what a type of anarchist they are, they all look the same.
Yeah.
My favorite picture of like an alt-right Proud Boy is this dude whose head just looks like a thumb. I'm just like, yep, that sounds about right.
Hello, Anne Frank.
Oh,
And
That's what they call me.
I
Hello.
love these. I love these go commit die Roblox memes. Like my sister actually unironically plays Roblox.
My favorite Roblox photo of all time.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Like,
I mean, my sister is 11, so no, actually she's
yeah,
12
it's
now.
fucking Roblox, dude.
yeah,
Like,
well,
why
yeah,
would
it's Roblox. It's meant to
Poor
be for-
people Minecraft.
I've never played Roblox.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if a kid enjoys it, let him have fun. It's like
Kill them.
From what I've heard,
bro.
Roblox is actually one of the best first-person shooter games out there.
I have. Yeah,
oh yeah,
General
isn't there a Left 4 Dead mod for like
Bet.
Roblox?
I don't know.
Better
There's like a
net
Call of
code.
Duty thing. Apparently, it's super fucking smooth control.
Better
Wow.
net
You
code
get like
than
300
CS:GO.
frames per second too because
Way
it's
better.
fucking Roblox.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, the other day I had I was already in my feels because I was cleaning out my older, like, some storage space, and I found some things, and I was like, man, that brings me back. That gives me my feels. And then I decided to play Minecraft, which was actually the worst fucking thing to do when I was already in that headspace. Because as soon as that like fucking music hit, I was just like, man, I remember 2011 or 12 or whenever Minecraft PS3 edition came out. And I just sat there playing it with my dad and brothers for fucking ever. I was happy back then.
Are you still
I
playing it?
remember. Oh god, you fuckers make me feel so goddamn old. I remember getting the NES Power Pack
Ooh.
and playing Super Mario Brothers for the first time.
I remember getting the NES Power Patch And I'm Super
I spent like the
Mario
first
Brothers.
3 years of my life playing like Super Mario All Star. First 3 years. Okay, hold on.
Well, like okay, like what blew me away about the power of video games was before that I played my dad's Atari, and so they were just like this fucking toy. The first time I played Super Mario Brothers, I got to the end of level 1-1. I'm like, oh, I beat the game, because that's all I knew about video games was just like this, just really. And then it goes to level 1-2. I'm like, wait, there's more.
What?
Yeah, because my
Nani?
experience with games was again Atari, where you just played on like one screen with like shitty graphics and everything. I didn't think that there'd be like a story or a quest or anything like
Dude,
that.
you're old.
Yeah.
I know I'm old.
Be younger.
Yeah, stop being old.
Fucking
Be a
dads
filthy
out here.
sub-millennial like me.
Oh, it's even worse.
Who here's played
What, sub-millennial?
But to genuinely imagine the development, like the evolution that games have undergone in the past 20 years alone. I mean, fucking hell.
Yeah, they look really great, but they all suck.
Except the ones that
Agreed.
look really shit, those tend to not suck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Neo.
Well, it's just all allocation of resources, you know. Where
And some,
just have to make
every
all
so
of them.
often, you find a game that doesn't look like shit, and also isn't shit.
Everybody should play Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead and Liberal Crime Squad.
Everybody should
I
play
play
Enderall.
Yeah,
I actually am playing Enderall.
good. One of the
Better
crash like
result.
5 times every
Have you-
single playthrough though.
Have you run into any interesting NPCs yet?
I've run into very many.
I haven't played
very
too much of
many.
it. I just got through the intro, and I'm walking around the main little city place.
Wow. I think
Yeah,
I've
I'm-
met like 14 random NPCs that have Burger's voice, including some fanatic, religious fanatic, which I thought was very fitting.
Oh, it's a Skyrim mod.
Wait, Burger's in the game.
I am in
Yeah.
the game, yes.
You
Wait,
tricked me. You did not
Wait.
disclose that.
wait, what
Shell-
game are you in?
It's not. I mean, I am in
Enderall.
The Spy Who Shot Me, but there's a total conversion for Skyrim that's called Enderall. It's basically a whole new game. That is someone's breaking the fucking trash cans outside. It's really fucking good. It's like there's a whole new Elder Scrolls game that's just not set in the Elder Scrolls universe.
It's basically just not. They basically just like took the They took like not even the Like they just took like the skeleton of Skyrim and just fucking put it there. Like there's an entirely new game system, new leveling system. Magic murders you because you get a fucking brain aneurysm or some shit.
Yeah, and what's they called? Sure AI, I think they're called. People made it. They made like big full conversion mods for both Morrowind and Oblivion before, and they're also getting a Steam release for their Oblivion mod, which is apparently even better.
Yeah,
Because
I
that's
like
trash
this. They're pretty serious. And at some point, like on Facebook, I saw that they were still looking for voice actors because like it was clear from the beginning to everyone that this was going to be like you have to do this for free because we can't pay you. This is a mod. Everything we did here was for free, which is insane. The amount of work that has gone into it. Genuinely, it is better than Skyrim, and just the amount of work that has gone into this. And like, and someone was demanding pay, and they said, "Yeah, no, I'm not. We're just not going to use your voice line." And then they asked, "Hey, someone else maybe step in." And you know, I saw that on Facebook. I stepped up and I voiced like a couple minor NPCs.
Yeah, it's a couple of randos like Beggar.
Yeah,
I mean,
Wash.
Yeah, there's a couple of like just the random people with names that just you don't have any interaction with that you see around Ark.
I also know pretty much whenever you run into an apothecarius, it's not like an NPC that occurs in the world, but just one that occurs in like cutscenes. That also I voice.
Oh, I haven't seen any of them.
Actually, I've forgotten at this point how many the voice lines, and so today I was doing a quest, and suddenly my voice was being thrown back at me, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to die."
Yeah, I remember the when you first travel to like your first proper quest in Riverwell, which is your one. Go down. Well, I'm not going to spoil. You go down underneath a house, and you teleport back to Riverrun. You get into the inn, and there were like 2 or 3 NPCs with your fucking voice. I just remember because it's like, oh, some rando, okay. And then it's a traveler.
A foreigner, huh?
Yeah.
You've chosen a strange time to visit this
that
country.
Fucking.
They have this, the other voice line that I haven't heard it in a while. My girlfriend tells me that it's still in the game. I haven't heard it. It's this, Theolor Orenthial has returned. And then something else. I haven't heard it once. I've been trying. Every time I meet an NPC that has my voice, I've been trying to have him say the voice line. It never happens!
Have you gone to Ark yet?
Dude, I am way into the game.
Okay, I'm just not sure, because when we last talked, you'd say you hadn't gone that far. Then you probably play a lot more than I have recently.
Yeah, I've been, like, the past 2 days, I've just been playing Enderrod all the fucking time.
You are now obligated to say, stop, you violated the law.
Wait, how is Skyrim still $40?
Yes.
Basically, yeah.
Normal
Jesus
Skyrim.
Christ.
The problem is that
It goes on sale. It goes on sale. a lot.
no, it doesn't. Normal Skyrim doesn't go on sale, but Special Edition does. And you need normal Skyrim for all the good mods.
Just buy
You have to buy
Skyrim.
it from like G2A.
How do you not own Skyrim, Mario?
Yeah, I have Skyrim for many years.
Piracy.
Wait, no, oh, wait, hold up. Step it back. There's a special edition now. I thought there was
Yeah.
just the one.
No,
Yeah,
there's
isn't that the Game of
Skyrim,
the
there's
Year
Skyrim
edition?
Special Edition, there's Skyrim VR, there's Skyrim for Xbox and for PS4 and for your computer
What the
and for your
fuck?
switch.
And
What
for
the
your
You
fuck?
can get-
Fuck.
Listen,
Fuck. Fuck
I play that shit
Bethesda.
on Windows Vista.
No, hold on, listen. They made Skyrim that you can play for your Alexa.
No,
Wait,
It's not-
okay,
it's
hang
not
on.
full Skyrim,
Wait, so if you own the original, do you get the special edition?
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
you
own
get
it
it.
on Steam, you get it for free.
if
did
you owned
initially.
it before they released it, and it was.
Oh
it's-
shit! Yeah, I
Yeah.
have. Okay,
you
I
have
guess
it.
yeah,
It's just Skyrim
did-
that's slightly...
no, I'm not like trying to troll or anything. I didn't know this existed.
Yeah.
I thought it was just the. Okay.
Yep, they just add that to your fucking library there. There you go, buddy. Free game.
Against
but-
your will.
Free
Okay,
game,
but
free duplicate.
okay, but can I put in my big tip mod into
Maybe.
Yeah,
It depends on if it's
you-
really good.
Finally,
Listen,
away.
you can't. Nexus Mod Manager works fine on it. I
But
can't remember. I
I just
can't
started
remember
using.
if the script extender I think might not work on a special edition. I can't remember if it does or not. It
Okay.
definitely doesn't work on VR Skyrim.
Okay, I just started
to the
because
toilet and then get another beer.
I just
Oh,
I just
more
started-
beer.
Don't post porn, please. Thanks. Bye.
Okay, I'll
biggest titties I have.
okay.
No.
I will post a completely wholesome pic from Plague of Grites.
Finally awake, walked right into the Imperial ambush. Same as the thief over there.
We were talking about if,
Oh,
Same
I
as
got
me
it.
and that
I
thief
got it.
over there.
I got
Yeah.
a perfect reaction photo to that.
Where are they
Oh.
taking us?
That's my favorite Moe character, by the way. I just posted.
Weeb.
Kawaii.
So,
Yeah.
I know this is completely off topic, but I'm kind of excited about this. So I played in like one of the most top concert halls in the country yesterday or 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
You played
Shit
that?
was- I played at it. Yeah, I was playing for like an orchestra and shit.
Where
holy
did
shit,
you
wait,
play?
do you play like the bassoon or something?
No, I play guitar actually, but like I also play percussion.
Yeah, I play guitar. You can
Yeah,
start
yeah.
sucking my dick when you want.
No, I play jazz though. So it's
Yeah, look, I'll
Um,
just drop my pants right now. You can
But I
start
play
whenever
not
you
jazz.
like it.
So yeah, exactly. Let me flex on everybody. But no,
But,
I guess it's one of the most like acoustically built buildings like in the fucking world, and like it was just fucking insane playing up there. You know,
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain it, but it was rad. It was one of the coolest things I've ever done.
yeah. Our high school had a really well designed interior theater area with really great acoustics. If you weren't shitty at singing, you could fill up the entire fucking room with your voice,
Mm.
and you didn't even really have to try all that hard. Even if there even if it was full to capacity with like however many seats, there were only like 400. You could still just.
Oh yeah, no, this place, like Severance Hall, you can just drop like a pin at the back of the fucking place and like you'll hear it from all across the theater. It's insane. I mean, I think our orchestra is like the top one in the country, or it's close. But it's just fucking ridiculous, like this building and like all the fucking how it's built, you know, for all the sound just to like project everywhere is crazy. It's a very round room.
I feel like every town that has a symphony orchestra claims to be the best symphony orchestra, because our symphony orchestra claims to be the best one as well.
Yeah, but
I doubt that any of
Festus,
the best
Missouri Symphony Orchestra, best in the world.
United States
Yeah.
of uncultured.
No, but I think the Cleveland Orchestra is like definitely up there.
yeah,
I'm not even shitting on that because I just was down in Pittsburgh and talking to like one of their dudes that plays there, and like they were saying that.
One thing I do like about living where I live is that one of my favorite theater companies, who's based out of Minneapolis, comes down here a lot. So, and they do shows for really cheap, and I really enjoy going to their shows. Shakespeare, they do Shakespeare, and they're out of Minneapolis.
I can't think of one with just that information.
So just to get back to the beer review, this is something I've always wanted to try. This, it's an organic chocolate stout. The chocolate is the important part. There's apparently a lot of chocolate beer in the United States. This one is from Yorkshire, North Yorkshire, Tadcaster, North Yorkshire, by Samuel Smith Old Brewery. Yeah, that's.
It's not a bad part of England. Okay.
Don't know how I feel about that. Chocolate
this
stout,
is quite good.
frankly,
actually.
sounds disgusting.
Intoxicants bad. Don't breathe.
There's a local thing that's I don't know if it's local. I think it's kind of local. That is fucking delicious. It's a good chocolate stout, but it's like fucking like 12. It's like $15 for like a 4-pack. It's insanely.
Beer review.
Wait, what, how much you say? How much?
I think it's like $15 for a 4-pack. Let me find it.
That's
Let me see
average
the
prices here. Welcome to Norway.
Well, if shipping was cheap enough, or if Burger ever came to the United States, I would buy him a 30-pack of Natty Ice for like $10 and just have him review it.
Why would you make him drink a 30-pack of Natty Ice? I thought you liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you
cool,
might as
dude.
well just strap him to a chair and piss in his mouth.
I fully expect when I am on like a US tour to be given terrible beer at every turn.
Oh yeah, it's like Natty. I feel like Natty Ice is like a rite of passage in the Midwest. It's like before you become an adult, you have to suffer through this piss water.
Give him 2 steel reserves.
Yeah, Burger, have a Bud Light.
I mean, we have terrible beer in Germany. I am familiar with the concept of terrible beer.
Oh god, you really want to fuck with people? Give him a Rogue. Rogue is like overpriced beer that just tastes like shit.
Okay, no, fuck Rogue as a company. I used to live in Portland. I hate them so much. All of their advertising, like, hey, do you want to think differently, or are you on the edge? Like, there's some edgy beer company that makes shit. They're not even good.
Yeah, exactly.
Live on the edge.
No, they're brewed. Rogue is like the douchebag, bro. Yeah, everybody says that PBR is like the hipster douchebag beer. No, it's fucking Rogue.
I think like hillbillies and shit when I think of that. Like I don't really think
PBR.
Yeah, punk shows, like that's what they drink.
Dude, PBR is like both for like rednecks and for hipsters. It reaches the political divide.
I'm trying to think of a time I've had PBR and not been inside of a Hooters, and I can't think of a single time.
Oh, there's a pizza place near my house that serves PBR out of like a big fucking pitcher for like $4. It's great.
PBR sounds like a television station.
Pat's Blue Ribbon.
You're thinking of PBS.
Yeah. But no,
it sounds like a television station.
Up here, white trash drinks Natty Ice, hipsters drink PBR, and the everyman drinks like Coors or Bud, or Bud Light or if their doctor says they have a heart condition, they drink like Bud Lights.
Milwaukee's best.
Over here, the hipsters just brew their own beer in their garage with like one friend.
Like,
of course it makes sense that fucking Rogue is brewed in Oregon. Of course.
I told you. Yeah, I just Portland, Oregon, not the other. Like, no, I didn't mean Maine when I said that.
Yeah.
Fucking
Portland, Maine.
Rainforest people.
I know
about,
one
like,
of the 10 people
bad
there.
German beer is that you really have to try to get it. Like, there's cheap German beer. There's, I mean, you know, wherever you are, the local beer will usually be quite cheap. Right here, it's like Flensburger, Astra. Astra has so many different fucking brews, but they're all pretty good. Like, even 5.0 beer is pretty good. You have to get to, like, the bad beers in Germany. If you want to experience a bad beer in Germany, they always come in cans exclusively. The cans will look very unassuming. They will be quite large, and they will be about as cheap, where, like, the deposit that you put in for the can will sometimes be higher than the beer that is contained within. And basically then you have Turmbräu. And Turmbräu is the worst.
Musty water.
Okay, so genuinely, you cannot drink that shit. We have a term called Pissschluck, which is like the piss drag. Probably also exists in English in some way. Which is like the last drag of beer when it's already sort of gone rancid from being open for half a minute. It's not very good, the last drag. Turmbräu is basically just Pissschluck.
Jesus.
Sounds yummy.
I've had that experience
you talk about these bad beers, I'm just like, I really want to see you try a Budweiser.
I don't. I wouldn't put them through that.
I mean, it's
I'm
like,
gonna say something, all right?
Okay, the first red flag about Budweiser is they proudly proclaim that they use rice in the brewing process.
Some Chinese beers do that, and it's not too terrible. I actually had a rice beer once. It was pretty good.
No, it's not. But Budweiser isn't a rice. They don't claim it to be a rice beer, but they use rice in the brewing process to lower costs.
Like, the thing about Budweiser is that it's a Czech company originally, and Czech beer is really good. I like if I get,
I don't know, this Dakota Still Czech style Pilsner fucking
real
sucks.
Budweiser,
I hope Czech beer is actually good.
If I can get real Budweiser in Germany, or like some other, fucking Czech beer like Tysky, I will get it. It's really nice. So it's difficult for me to imagine it being bad.
Well, again, when you do your U.S. tour, you will learn many things.
Find it.
My poor sweet baby.
You know what's worse than Bud Light?
Bud Heavy.
Fucking what's that Australian beer called?
Foster's.
Foster's, mate.
Oh my god,
Dude, in Australia drinks Foster's, mate. They all drink Victoria Bitter.
So
they all drink.
Back when I first started drinking, I was like, when I first started being able to drink legally, right? I was like 21, and I'd go to the store and was like, you know what, I want some beer, but I don't really know what to get because back when I was younger, I just drank whatever I could. So I was like, you know what, this Foster's beer is on sale. It's like 2 giant cans for like $1.
Oh no!
Oh no!
That's a bad sign.
Yeah.
Also, when I was stuck in LA last week, I decided one night I was gonna drink a bit, and I went to a gas station down the road from the hotel I was at, and I went to their alcohol, and I was expecting just like beer and shit like that, but they had literal, like, you could buy 40s there, which was cool, yeah. But they had they had 2 and 3 packs of like 4 Loco and like Mike's Hard Lemonade. It was just literally, they just like taped 2 or 3 can 24-ounce cans together. And it's just like, oh, this is the right amount to get fucked up with.
What is a 40? Please explain this.
Hey, 40 is a 40-ounce beer. It's a big-ass thing of beer.
Yeah, it's usually well. It's not. It's sometimes it's beer.
I have
but
no frame of reference for that. That might be a whole cask or just like a small pin.
Well, let me see how many
okay.
football fields that is.
Okay, it's like homeless beer. It's the perfect size for like a bum, because they sell them for like $3 or $4. So it's the right price.
So 40 ounces is just over a liter of beer.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, and it's not. It's usually not beer. It's
malt liquor.
It's malt liquor. Yeah, so it's really sweet and has a shit ton of alcohol, which means it's perfect for like.
For the life of me, find a local, like a store that'll sell malt liquor 40s around.
Go to the hood.
They only sell beer, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, here in South Dakota you can't get 40s, but in most big cities you can get 40s.
I know things like Four
Loko
Loko
drink
are
on
not.
the street in the United States.
It depends on where you are. If you're in like an area where there's a lot of public drinking, like if you're in like a downtown like club area, public drunkenness is not that big a deal unless you're being disorderly. Some places that are more honestly, if it's a more religious place, it's definitely gonna have more drinking laws than not have drinking.
Like I heard that the only actual place where you can drink on the street is New Orleans.
Well, and a lot of places also have brown bag laws, so you can't. You as long as it's in a bag where the label, it's not obvious that you're drinking
I've watched
alcohol.
The Wire, so like brown bags are familiar to me, but it seems odd.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing where it's like, oh, you can drink alcohol, but we can't see that the label is English 800 or Thunderbird or whatever shit, cheap bum wine you're drinking.
It's like when you go to a sex toy store and they give you an unassuming brown paper bag.
Yeah.
Everyone in town who runs around with an unassuming brown paper bag, you can only get those at sex shops.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing here. It's like if I like just walked out with my beer right now, and a cop was in the mood to just like be a shithead, he could arrest me for public intoxication. But if I put it in a fucking bag, then he can't do shit.
And it's like the other one who like leaves sex stores just holding the shit that they bought.
Laws on like public intoxication.
So am I the only one who leaves sex stores just holding the shit that they bought? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
No, I
laws on public intoxication are really like I work security. Laws on public intoxication, they're just an excuse to throw a disorderly drunk. Like no one cares if you're drinking. They just care that like you're drinking and being an asshole.
Yeah, but like being an asshole is also illegal.
It's a little bit easier to. It's easier to get someone like arrested if they're also being a drunk asshole.
Yeah.
It's just
you'd be like, I don't like this person. I want them out of here, and I want them thrown in prison. Let's fucking call the police.
Like any country where you can't get shit faced in public is just odd to me, because that is an essential part of German culture.
The longer I know you, Burger, the more and more excited about your eventual trip to the United States, because I feel like that's going to be a turning point in your life when you come to America.
Actually, I do want to make like a really sort of well-produced series where I plan out in advance, sort of like a documentary. I'm going to call it Understanding America, and I'm going to pick like a couple topics.
Come to America, break your leg, and then go into horrible debt.
Yeah, you'll understand America real quick.
Like the episode, like the video I want to see you make is Max Mofo did a video like years ago where he went into a Walmart and like he picked up like a party tray of like meat and cheese, cereal. He picked up like vodka, a knife, and like he was looking at guns. And it's like, that's my favorite, like, sort of foreigner in the United States video is just the trip to Walmart. Where it's like, you can buy a PlayStation 4, a Hormel party platter of, like, ham and cheese, and a fucking gun.
I know that this is, like, intellectually, I know that this is the case, but emotionally, I will not grasp it until I am there.
Yeah.
You won't grasp the fact that you can buy a shotgun the same place you can buy a fucking bottle of vodka and a pack of condoms.
And like diapers for your baby.
And some Bud Light.
At 4 o'clock in the morning. Let me just stress that.
In your pajama bottoms.
Walmart is...
I mean, it's a little bit more into it to get the gun. Like, you can at least sign up to get the gun there.
Not here. It depends on the state. Like here in South Dakota,
depends on your state and waiting laws.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah, like here in South Dakota, if you want to buy a shotgun, you could just buy it.
Yeah.
Really?
And if he visits here, there's a place where we can just get him a gun. Nobody will say anything.
No, well, like here, a shotgun isn't really considered a firearm. It's considered a tool.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's actually correct.
I'm not kidding.
That is the classification in Texas.
That's the same thing as like Russians considering kvass to be a non-alcoholic drink, even though it's got 3 to 4% alcohol. It's the most American thing.
Well, it's because historically, you bought a shotgun to keep varmints away.
So I looked it up. Yeah, there's no waiting period for like shotguns and rifles, but like handguns require like 14 days to get a concealed license.
Handguns are usually the hardest to get.
Wait, what? No. When I bought my handgun,
you can usually buy a rifle, like a semi-automatic rifle, easier than you can buy a handgun.
Fuck,
I mean, I got my handgun in Oregon, and it took like 30 minutes.
Also, just a little update. I mean, I know nobody cares about South Dakota, but I just want to mention this. We recently eliminated our concealed carry laws, so you can conceal carry without a permit now, and we're about to pass a law saying that you can carry a firearm into the state capitol.
No.
I like how we're in the state capitol agreeing on this law right now.
Listen, I've seen it in practice. Just because there's a law on the books that says you are allowed to bring something to like the police station, or
they're still gonna get.
That doesn't mean you are going to have guns pointed at you from the police because they don't always know what the law is.
Oh yeah, I know. If I like grab my AR-15 and just roll up to the state capitol and walk into the fucking court. Yeah, if I walk into the courthouse with my AR-15, they're gonna fucking have something to say to me. I know, but the law is on my side right now.
It doesn't matter how much the law is on your side if there is a fucking 9mm round traveling through your fucking spinal cord.
Well, okay, let me just mention, I'm also white, so I'm okay there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, well, you don't gotta worry about it.
And I'm not about to bring my AR-15 into the courthouse. Don't worry.
This is the strangest thing about like the strangest U.S. police fact is that in Germany, since the 50s, the amount of people killed by police amounts to half of the amount of people killed by police in 2017 in America.
Oh yeah, a lot of our cops are sociopaths.
How about this fact? There's more money taken through civil asset forfeiture than taken through burglary in the United States.
Yeah, that one gets my goat. A big explanation, or a good reason to kind of just explain it in 30 seconds or less, is to just say that a majority of cops are ex-military. Like, maybe that's not true. Maybe it's not a majority, but there are a lot of ex-military cops.
Well,
it's an insane number.
It doesn't help that we've been in a perpetual state of war for so long that we have so much military equipment,
which
that
helps to explain why the ex-military is such a big deal.
Well, it's like we don't know what the fuck to do with it, so we give it to our local police. Like, our SWAT team has an infantry fighting vehicle, and
we have our team has an APC too. The guy fucking brought it out and like parked it at like a fair once.
Yeah, it's like apparently it was I forgot the name of it, but it was designed in Israel and it was meant to
probably an LAV.
Yeah, that's really awesome. Have they ever deployed it and like used it, or have they just deployed it for fun?
Well, back during the whole what was that Adbusters thing protest? The Occupy. When Occupy Sioux Falls came here, they deployed it just to be like, hey, don't start shit because we got this thing and it can handle an anti-tank mine, and we know you poor hipsters can't afford anti-tank mine, but here it is. So
damn.
So
they deployed those at what was that fucking, like in 2014 or whatever, there were those race protests happening.
Oh, but yeah, Black Lives Matter,
like Baltimore and stuff like that.
No,
Black Lives Matter.
Not Baltimore. The one before that, it was in like a midwestern state.
Yeah, Ferguson.
Ferguson. Yeah, they had APCs and shit there too.
Yeah, it was just literally they just
if
like.
I'm not mistaken, that shit was way out of hand though.
Listen, we all know that an angry
really
black can rip a truck in half.
When the police deploys water throwers, water guns in Germany for protests, that makes the evening news nationwide.
Oh, that happened here. It was covered up a lot. Like,
oh no, that's like spring break. I know because you're a Florida man.
Y'all also don't wave around.
I was more talking about what was it, the
war machine
access pipeline. They were like spraying like fire hoses on people like at nighttime. All fucking night while they
oh god. Okay, so I live up here where that shit's going down because the shit that happened at Standing Rock is already done. The pipeline's built. That battle was lost
and it's spilled.
Well, now it's coming into my state, and it's like because the Keystone Pipeline is supposed to go around Sioux Falls, and now they're like. We don't want this shit near our city. And it's like,
hold on. We're white, okay? We're not Native American. We don't.
Well,
we right to not have this.
Well, yeah, because Sioux Falls is like Sioux Falls is not on an Indian reservation, so they'll listen to us. You know, it's like, no, like,
when you're corralled into your own segregated communities and are literally legally discriminated against and continue to be, but somehow you're just whiny when you complain about it.
Dude,
thank you, United States government. Very cool.
That's one of the things that I want to cut up the sort of documentary I want to make on America in like thematic episodes, and one of the things that I really want to understand is why you people are so obsessed with race, because I see.
I don't know. I
reasons.
don't know.
I understand logically the reasons, but I don't.
In which way?
Actually, like you still have you have communities, especially like black communities, that have just been fucked in the arse for so long that of course they're poor. And with how much the country fucks the poor, it's very easy to see it as like the country's fucking black people. It's just that a lot of black people happen to be poor. But like I've never been there because I have heard of like rich black people who also get stopped by the police all the time.
Well, it's like God, it's so fucking weird. It's like it's even hard to understand being an American because it's like here, like we have open arms. If you're like when the South Sudanese refugees came here, we had open arms. From Vietnamese refugees, open arms. Even the Katrina refugees from New Orleans, we accepted them into our state, and we're like, we'll take care of you. We'll make sure you have a better life. But when it comes to Native Americans, it's like, oh no, fuck those prairie niggers, fuck them.
That also is a thing. Native Americans, that is so absurd to me.
Yeah, out here in South Dakota, it's like we will accept everybody, but except for those fucking Indians. And it's like it's so fucking weird. I can't explain it to you. I don't know why our government is like that. I don't know why we treat them like shits.
But it's also like a cultural thing, right? I mean, you have that. It is actually something like here's the thing. When I am on the street and I see. I don't know. When I see a black person, for instance, I think, oh, he must be wealthy. That's the only thought I have. And then I stop caring. Like, when I see a Turkish person, I'm a little more apprehensive, but they too. I mean, like they're so well integrated that you see like the Sera Sumuncu, which is like who is himself a Turk. He's one of the great German comics. He calls the Turks Ersatznäger, which is like ersatz niggers.
Yeah, fake.
It's
yeah,
fake,
ersatz
fake,
is like
because
fake.
they do emulate very poorly the ghetto culture. Like, I've been to German ghettos. I've lived in German ghettos. They're not that bad. They're pretty. They have parks. You can go around at night. There's bus service that you can just. There's stalls that have open.
Well, and the crazy thing about here in the States is like it's not one thing. It's like what I just told you is just specific to like South Dakota and Montana and North Dakota. That's just in these states. It's like if you go to like Missouri or Mississippi, it's an entirely different story. You go to California or Texas, it's an entirely different story. You know, it's like you can replace Native Americans with Mexicans or you know, black people. It's just the race is just a thing that we obsess over, and I don't think anybody can explain it. I don't.
Yeah, and that's
it's just we have a
big
history that is all. So. I mean, I say that, but you know, you live in Germany, so.
But yeah,
I take it back that like it can't be explained. It'll just take a fucking long time. But like,
yeah, it's explaining. So, I don't know if there's enough time in our fucking show to explain why race issues in the United States.
I think I mean if you had a point gun in my head and they explain something, I'd say it's just like the whole the idea of the melting pot, and it just happened way too fucking fast.
But it's worked here.
I disagree.
That's
I disagree.
Yeah, like
the opposite.
A lot of fucked up things happened in history, and like in some of the fucked up things that happened in history, like we totally own. Like, hey, like the Trail of Tears, that was bad. We shouldn't have done that. We're sorry. The whole thing with the Japanese internment during World War II. Yep, sorry about that too. You know, that was bad. But then there's this other shit that's just sort of low key under the radar, and there's shit that people like still deal with. I grew up in southern United States. I went to college in Virginia, and so I'm used to being like a black guy in very rural parts of southern Virginia. Like there are Confederate flags all over the fuck where I went to school. Like just always, and like I've always been that everybody's one cool black friend. So like they let me into things and like say like just shit that they wouldn't say like around normally, but like. I can't, like the first time I told my mom that I went out hiking with a group of white people, she's like, "The fuck did you just say?" I'm fine. Yeah, but they could have killed you. Yeah, they probably weren't going to though. And like it's just gone over like that. But like there's still like a lot of deep seated like fucked up stuff, and like I've gotten like the bullshit pullover where like they just want to give you a ticket for something to like hopefully find you and swing you or whatever. I've gotten the bullshit like stops over in the South, and like the South is the South, and like that's a weird way to say it, but like it's fucked up over there. I don't think it'll not be fucked up over there for quite a long while, and that's why I don't live there. I live in the Northwest. And
yeah, and let me just say, like I've had that too. Just being like, if like okay, like this happened like 10 years ago, where I was at a friend's birthday party. It was actually, it was my friend's birthday party. I remember it because it was right after 300 came out. So my friend got super fucking drunk and thought he was a Spartan, so he stripped down to his underwear and grabbed his broadsword from his room and started running around his house with a broadsword. What?
Spartans didn't use broadswords. Your friend's an idiot.
Yeah, he is an idiot. He is an. Well, he was.
This drunkard did not cosplay in a historically accurate manner.
Well, I
don't care how drunk you are. You can't make bronze weapons that large, okay?
Well, yeah, he was a fucking idiot. But this one guy at the party, he just saw him like run around in his boxer shorts with his sword and thought like the guy was drunk, but he was really homophobic, and he wanted to start a fight with my friends. Just wanted to beat the shit out of him for running around in his boxer shorts, being a drunk asshole with a sword.
How dare you make me question my sexuality?
Well, and then he
found
out
all night thinking about those smooth legs. What the fuck?
Truth comes out.
And it's like he found out that I was gay or I was bisexual, and he started really just like he started like going out to the front lawn and yelling shit and walking to his car and walking back. And I'm like, this motherfucker might have a fucking gun. Holy shit. Because it's like the second he thought that like gay shit might be going down, he just went really fucking hostile and shit.
That's why you gotta say
He's a Spartan warrior, dude.
Real fast.
Bro, I knew you were gay the first time you told us that you were in the Air Force.
Sounds right.
Damn.
I thought Navy was the gay
Oh
one.
no! Please clear this up.
Maybe
Was
he
your
is in fact
friend
the gay one?
Was your friend the guy with the sword in his boxer shorts, or was this drunk asshole the guy with the sword in his boxer shorts?
No, my friend was okay. There was many drunk assholes, including myself. My friend was the drunk asshole with the sword in his boxer shorts, pretending to be like Spartan and shits. And then this other drunk asshole was like, "This guy's fucking coming on to me with his fucking boxer shorts."
What?
Yeah, it was really fucking weird because
What kind of fucking closet queer do you have to be to see your friends like almost naked and be like, "Oh, I hope they're not coming on to me"? I have seen my friends' dicks at least twice, and I haven't thought like, man, I really hope I don't have the urge to suck their cock.
Oh my god! So like, all right. So I have my longest running gym buddy right now. Like probably one of my best friends. Like I'm like the best man in his wedding, all that type of shit. This dude is the gayest straight person I know, and I am a dude who fucks dudes, and he makes me uncomfortable with some of the shit he does, like just doing pull-ups, and then he reaches behind and trying to twist my nipples and shit like that. It's like, bro, can we have a moment like without that? Just. Oh god, and I've seen his dick too many times. Too many. I don't want to see it anymore. I'm tired of it. Just make it go away.
The one black man who lives around here has shown his penis very often because his friend, our friend is his son. His son is blonde-haired and blue-eyed because the black man's wife is blonde-haired and blue-eyed. The black man is very black.
Okay, I got another story with this Spartan dude. That's about how.
Yes.
Spartan dude just killed him with the sword.
He got fucking taken out Spartan style.
That's why you always say no homo.
Yeah. Well, he was celebrating his dad's birthday at the VFW hall, and I remember going up there, and they were all partying, getting drunk and everything, and I left to go home, and a couple hours later, he called me and said, "Hey, I just broke into this garage because I got into a fight with this fat chick, and I had to leave the VFW hall, and I'm in this garage. Could you come pick me up?" And I knew what garage it was because there's a mechanics garage down the road from the VFW hall. I'm like, for fuck's sake, get out of there before the cops are called, and I'll find you. This was in November, and it was like 20 degrees outside, and so we live on the south side of town, and the VFW hall in this garage is on the north side of town, so I had to drive across town to pick him up. I'm going down this big street. And I'm just driving along, and then I see this figure walking down the sidewalk in a wife beater, and the front of his wife beater is just red with blood, and he's dragging a deer skull behind him.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, that's fucking weird. And then I just realized that's fucking him. And I turn around, come back, and pick his ass up, and I'm just like, what the fuck happened? And he's like, oh yeah, you told me to get the fuck out of there, so I got the fuck out of there. And I was walking, and these dudes started yelling at me, so I got into a fight with them. I stole they had this deer skull on their porch, so I took it. And I ran away.
What a specimen.
Oh,
absolute Chad.
No, these days he's a manager over at a local cement company. He has like 3 kids and he's married, happily married now. It's like for a brief while there, he was like a character in Skyrim. Did he get married
to that one other guy?
No, he got married to this fucking girl.
I was hoping that conflict would have had a happy resolution.
Yeah. No,
a love story for the ages.
No, he just played like real life Skyrim for like 3 years and then became a regular human. But no, it's
a standard human.
No, I have stories of him where
Imperials.
I have stories of him where like there used to be this really big popular bar where everybody would go to get drunk and party and shit. And one time he decided he wanted to leave the bar, and he couldn't drive because he had a DUI. So he decided to walk home, and he decided to take a straight line back home, which meant that he almost drowned in the Big Sioux River. And because he was just like, here's this river, it's time to start swimming, and he ended up like a half a mile downstream.
So do you live in Sioux Falls?
Yeah.
Do you know Bobby Singer?
No, I don't know him personally.
He has a junkyard just out of town.
Okay, I don't know.
Singer also? His Christian name is Robert?
I know who you're talking about. I don't know him personally. Sioux Falls has like 200,000 people in it. I don't know everybody.
It's not exactly a small town.
Yeah, I don't know everybody in Sioux Falls.
Well, I mean, he fights demons and shit. So
I know. Well, God, there's another supernatural show set in South Dakota. Warehouse 13. Warehouse 13 is set in South Dakota.
I actually started watching Warehouse 13 until they got to the first Christmas special, and then I thought to myself, "Fuck this shit! What is wrong with American television?"
Yeah,
I can't believe that I didn't catch the fucking Supernatural reference, because that was my twin brother's favorite show for a long ass time.
You have a twin brother?
Yes.
Yeah, I just remember. Yeah, Supernatural is a popular show here, and I just totally went over my head.
One of the main characters is from Sioux Falls, so yeah.
God damn it!
Oh, that's
Bobby.
what you were getting at.
Yeah, but Bobby Singer is one of the main characters of Supernatural.
I missed that whole fucking thing, dude.
Look, my local grocery store has a cheese shop, okay? This is a really fucking generic white town.
Dude, there's a pizza place in a town in the middle of nowhere not far from here that just has a gourmet, like, artisan-style grocery store for no fucking reason. It's not a particularly wealthy area. It's just in the middle of nowhere. The place is killing it. I fucking love how we have these big, massive gourmet businesses in nowhere out here in the Midwest.
Isn't it normal
because cheese is so cheap?
A cheese place in a grocery store, is that not a normal thing?
What are you talking about?
Well, like, okay, I should probably go and take a picture of it, because it's a sectioned off area of my grocery store called the cheese shop, and
it's a deli. It's what you're describing is a deli.
Most grocery stores don't have like.
There's no meat there. There is a deli.
So it's half a deli.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
the
like
better
a
half
normal
of the
thing
deli.
In like Germany, where you have a supermarket, and often you have a drink market also attached to it, where you can get drinks, and you have a section of the supermarket where you have half of it is cheese, the other half is meat. Sometimes they also give out meals with a rotating menu, and you have people behind the counter that will give you stuff. That's pretty normal here.
We also have Aldi's. We also have Aldi's here.
Aldi's is the fucking best.
Oh my god, have you... Okay,
Aldi's is really inconvenient to shop at, but boy, if you don't save a fuck ton of money.
No, but have you ever had it where you've had the entitled... okay, this belongs in, like, entitled parents subreddit, but have you ever had it where you had somebody just want to take your cart and not give you a quarter for it?
No.
Yeah.
I've had...
what?
Okay.
Well, it's like they don't understand. They don't understand that you have to deposit a quarter to use the. I think in Germany it's like you have to deposit a mark
Well, euro or 50 cents or 2 euros.
Okay.
You stick a quarter in the cart, so it
small bank tellers attached.
Okay, Burger. If you ever doubted how old I am, I just said mark.
Yeah, so that's what old people in Germany say.
Yeah. Okay.
How many marks for this?
The Deutschmark. But yeah, no, I've had it where like I walk out, I go to the Aldi, I put my quarter in, get my cart, do my shopping, walk out with the cart.
Wait, you have to pay for?
Load
up 25 cents.
Yeah,
I load a quarter in to unlock the cart.
This is a foreign concept to me.
No. Okay, shut up. Let me talk. So I load up my car. I'm like, okay, time to bring the cart back to the store, and then I'll have some fucking Becky or Karen or whatever walk up to me. It's like, hey, kid, could you give me your card? You know, it's like I don't have any quarters with me. I just have cards. I just have credit cards. And I'm like, nope. And I put my cart back and get my quarter back, and she's calling me a fucking cunt, and I'm just like, have a good day.
No,
I'm
just
confused.
Cash money here. We don't. I mean, there's people who can use credit card, but most people don't.
Well,
I'm so confused at this idea of
rent your shopping
putting a
cart.
quarter in to get a shopping cart.
Well, it's so they don't have to go out into the lot and gather all the carts like they do at Walmart and grocery stores.
Yeah, Aldi gives you like ridiculously low prices by just cutting every corner they can.
Yeah, so it's like
checks, so they don't have to pay someone to go to the bank with the checks. They make you pay for your cart, but they give it back like a deposit. They have no music playing, so they don't have to pay.
Well, hold on a minute. Is that not normal? You put a coin in the cart, and then you can pull it, and then you put it back, and you get the coin back.
I have never ever seen.
Well, what we do here is we pay someone $8 an hour to go out and pull them out of ditches.
What?
Yeah. That's a legitimate job here in the States. Is cart corral.
When you were in a grocery store, you gotta go out and like pick up all the carts that are in the parking lot.
In Germany, even if you give out the carts for free, which some stores do, people will bring them back to the place where they belong.
Oh, no, that doesn't happen. Yeah, there's
people just steal carts.
Like
I mean, that happens also. Homeless people do that.
Well, yeah, and in your future trip to the United States, when you eventually make your Walmart video, you'll see they have cart corrals out in the parking lot, and most people will bring the carts back to the cart corral, but some assholes will leave the carts, in the parking lot, and so they pay a guy $8 to $10 an hour to run out and gather all the carts.
Okay, so what you're missing...
And also do basic tasks around the store.
That's the normal way to do it, Burger. I don't know what this fucking deposit for your fucking shopping cart bullshit is.
Okay,
yeah, that's a specialty store thing.
Well, it's like.
Well, we don't have euros. How are we going to do that?
When Aldi first came to this town, they paid for an article in our local newspaper and on their website to explain how the cart process worked. It's like, because they were like, because we...
He cut out.
You cut out there.
F.
Yeah,
it's a pretty similar process everywhere, though. Like, when an Aldi came to my town, it was the same thing. There were carts everywhere. I shit you not, I lived right next to it when it opened. Like, 2 blocks away.
This is like the most normal thing in the world to me. Like it's a part of the childhood experience in Germany as a kid to want to put the coin in the card, much like you want to press the button in the elevator.
Well, now here the kids gather around the Aldi parking lot while mom goes in and buys groceries, and the kids get all the 6 carts that lazy assholes didn't put away, and they get enough money to go buy some candy or some shit. That's how it works here.
Yeah, that's what the Polish kids do in Germany.
Yeah, see, okay, Burger. This is what you find in most parking lots. This is a Walmart cart corral. It's like you put your cart here, and then somebody who gets paid like $10 an hour goes out and gathers all the carts.
Wait, why does it have instructions? Isn't it self-evident what you have to do?
No, you'd be amazed how often these things are jammed with sideways carts. They're put in backwards.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Yeah, you'll see like people like pick up carts and just throw them in there.
They're
and
fucking
shit.
tipped forward or something. They're always in wrong. It's insane. If you see
there's
a full rack of carts out there, it's a miracle.
Yeah, we've
been doing it this way for decades and we can't figure it out.
Yeah, it's like that's why Aldi needs to like pay for articles in newspapers and websites to explain how to do it.
A newspaper.
Well, okay, websites.
Do you have the Aldi Süd?
This stream really is sponsored by my grandma.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, I know what newspapers are. Those little, it's those things inside those boxes that people pee behind of.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so it's a toilet thing. Got it.
But actually, up until a couple years ago, we our local grocery store, Hy-Vee, used to have a service where you would do all your shopping, and then you would drive your car up to the store, and we would, us the employees, will load up your car for you, and we got paid. We got paid to do that. Like when I worked at Hy-Vee, I'd have entire shifts where I would just sit out in front of the store with shopping carts full of food, and people would come up and be like, "Yeah, that's my cart." And I would load up their car, and they would take off.
Do they put stuff in bags at the cashiers?
Yeah.
Okay, that would not happen in Germany.
Yeah, we also have, well, at Walmart the cashier does all the bagging, but at a lot of grocery stores they have baggers, which are just
extra people for that shit.
Yeah.
Well, they're kids. Yourself, it's not a difficult task.
Well, they're like, they're
this
kids.
is America. I'm not putting shit in my own.
Hold on.
Fuck that.
Hold on. So
that was my first job as a kid.
You're missing the part where we're actually giving people jobs.
Yeah.
But well, it's like that. Necessary. They could be doing brain surgery.
It is completely necessary.
Kid who fucking bags my groceries can do brain surgery.
Well, yeah, it's like when I was 14 and I got my first job, I was a bagger at Hy-Vee, and I bagged people's groceries.
Listen,
and put
that's
them in the
more.
cart.
That's more than what my first job was. My first job was a spin.
Yeah, well,
that's like, literally it's a job that's so fucking easy to do that, and it's so fucking tasking at the same time that you can be replaced by simply a stick in the ground.
Well, from what I know, like currently, like the best job to have at Walmart is to be the guys who go out and collect the carts, because they send you out there and you can do whatever the fuck you want. And it's like, I know people who do. I've known people who do that, and they'll go like, because Walmart will lease spaces out near theirs, because when Walmart buys real estate, they buy a fuck ton of real estate and then lease it out to other companies. So they'll like go out into the parking lot and then like go hang out at like GameStop or the Verizon store with their friends for like an hour.
I'm gonna get
at Walmart.
Quick, sure, I really want to get back because this is a highly interesting conversation that I want to be a part of.
Oh yeah, dude.
I should get a third beer too.
Yeah, I've already opened up my bottle of Russian Standard. So I'm ready.
Fucking that sort of stuff doesn't happen over here. Mostly because I mean, maybe at Walmart's it does, but like Publix, which is like the nicer place, or like Target, they wouldn't let you do that.
Oh yeah, like Walmart. I mean, Walmart
doesn't care if you slap your dick on the counter and fucking yell at the customer.
There's a YouTuber on YouTube, of course, called Fantavision. And he does a whole series about working at Walmart and GameStop, and everything he said.
You cut out.
Yeah. I've never stolen anything, but I have accidentally walked away with like $30 worth of goods from a Walmart.
I stole something once.
Yeah? What did you steal?
Terrifying. Somebody else had already half stolen it to begin with.
Half stolen?
So it was out of the packaging and everything. And I was like, oh, free magic cards. And then I shit myself walking out the door because I thought
that's a pretty good. That's a pretty big steal. That's a pretty decent steal.
Yeah, that was at least $90 worth of shit.
Yeah.
Wow. No, you don't beat me. When I was
no, I
4
actually
years old, I ate candy.
Cards. They stole everything but the mana cards.
I used to take.
Oh shit! I did actually steal only one thing. It was when I still lived in Ohio, and we went to an AutoZone, and there's like little candy, bazooka gum packages. I stole one of those.
Oh, you fucking bad boy.
That's the only thing that I've actually like cognizantly stolen. And
I used to take
so bad that
stuff.
I've stolen games of skee-ball before.
Skee-ball?
Like
somebody put their quarter in and then you fucking
No. Okay,
threw?
so I don't. You're definitely old enough to know what arcades were and shit, but a lot of those old skee-ball machines end up in. They're still around. They just end up in Chuck E. Cheese's and shit.
Yeah.
And they have no like locks on the inside that prevent you from just sticking your arm up the hole and grabbing the skee balls. New ones do, which is why I think these are older machines or something. New ones prevent you from doing that. They actually lock. But you could just push down the lock with your hand and fucking get as many balls as you want. Just play skee ball until the cows come home.
The closest thing I've ever done to stealing is because you mentioned arcades. It's, okay. Does anybody here remember a lens?
A lens?
You cut out.
Aladdin's castle.
No.
No.
Oh god.
That's a palace, not a castle.
Oh god, I'm so fucking old. Anyway, one time I was playing skee ball at Aladdin's castle, and the machine broke, and just because I got like 100-point hole, and it was like holy shit, because that's like the highest scoring hole, and the ticket machine just kept pumping out tickets until it ran out, and I was able to, because of that, and the arcade was super busy. I was like, I have all these tickets. Can I get the big stuffed animal? And I got the big stuffed animal over.
Wow.
Because I got way too many tickets than I was supposed to, and I didn't tell anybody. So I'm a dirty. So I'm a dirty thief.
It's a smart thing, cheating them out of that $6.50 giant stuffed animal.
Yeah, I mean, it was like a good 2,000 tickets that I got.
Like I said, I accidentally stole from Walmart, but I don't feel bad at all about it because they steal from everyone else.
Yeah, at the time I thought I was committing some kind of horrible crime and I was going to go to jail forever because I was.
Because that was like.
I know now that Walmart has probably done much worse things to people.
Well, yeah, I was like 9 years old when that happened, so I thought I was like a war criminal. You know,
war criminal.
So
you didn't know that giant stuffed animal costs.
Yeah, wait, what's the? I couldn't hear you, Burger.
Speaking of the supermarkets in the United States, there's this meme. It's a cultural meme in Germany. Servicewüste Deutschland, which basically means service desert Germany, because the customer is expected to do everything here, you know, by themselves. You just don't get people who bag groceries.
Oh god, no, that's not. No, not here.
The saying here is the customer's always right.
Yeah, exactly. And there was this one video, I think I posted it on the server at some point, where there was this guy who was trying to rob a gas station, and he had a gun and he was pointing it at the gas station clerk, and she was like 4 meters from the cash register by the place where they keep like the rolls with the buttered rolls with stuff on them, like, you know, and she was working there, and he was like, get over to the cashier and you know, give me all the money, and she's like, no, and it's like,
did you post about this once before?
Yeah, I posted the video,
Yeah.
And she was
I
like,
remember
no.
seeing that. That was funny as hell.
And he said, wait, what? And she's like, I'm buttering rolls. Can't you see I'm busy? It's like, fucking... Well, I have a gun. It's like, I have a knife. And she keeps on buttering the fucking rolls, right? And he says, well, what am I supposed to do now? Leave? And he just ended up leaving because she refused to go to the cashier and give him
he
the
doesn't
money.
want to stab anybody. He just wants the fucking money.
The top comment for that.
I found the video. I put it in the studio.
Yeah, the top comment for that was service desert Germany because she wouldn't even give him the service. Fucking. Allowing him to rob the fucking gas station.
What I found in like most robberies here in the States is that if it happens, you're either gonna get two different reactions from the person you're robbing. They're either just gonna like stare at you with this 1,000-yard stare while they're giving you the money, because it's like they literally don't fucking care if they die or not, or they will fucking pull out a shotgun or grab your gun and fucking almost kill you. It's like that. Those are the two reactions I see here in the United States when people get robbed. It's like it's either malicious compliance or
look how frustrated he is.
Well, the reason that is right is because if you're like if you're an hourly employee, you're not gonna care to rob you. But if you're like an immigrant who's like he murdered people on the boat over here to try and get a spot, and then sold his soul working to get enough money to own a 7-Eleven, damn right you're gonna fucking pull out a shotgun if someone tries to take your stuff.
Yeah, she's an employee as well. There's no privately owned gas stations in Germany.
No, we're talking about America right now.
There's no
I don't know about
privately
Germany.
owned
Germany
gas
just
stations
fucking
in
insane,
Germany?
apparently.
Well, I mean, I honestly feel for her. I mean, these rolls aren't going to butter themselves, you know.
Yeah, like she has to go back to work after this. I
Exactly.
get that, but what did you just say about gas stations not being privately owned in Germany? Is that real?
I mean, they're owned by big corporations, but like individuals don't own gas stations.
Okay.
They don't have franchises.
Yeah.
I
just love.
That's crazy because that's such a common thing here. Like open a gas station and just
No,
fucking
that's not. That
buy a
doesn't
gas
happen.
station, live on that for your
Yeah,
life.
yeah, like Burger, when you eventually come over here, just realize that like most fast food places and gas stations and small businesses that seem like they're part of a big corporation are just their own.
They're really just owned by some dude trying to put his
Oh,
two
yeah,
kids to
McDonald's
college.
is a franchisor in Germany also, but
Yeah.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Well, it's like here in Sioux
It's
Falls.
like everything
it's
here, though.
It's like here in Sioux Falls, all the McDonald's are owned by like a company called like Sioux Empire McDonald's, and it's just like a guy who lives here who owns like 30 McDonald's in this region.
I used to work for a Domino's that did the same thing. It was 11 Domino's, and they owned them in like different towns and stuff, and they all got together every other week. But they're just two normal people who own the franchise.
Yeah, like out in Montana, out in Montana, all the
They're really
McDonald's,
nice guys, actually.
Yeah, all the McDonald's in Montana are owned by a company called McMontana, and it's a private company that franchises to McDonald's.
McMontana.
Yeah,
That is-
McMontana.
I mean, McDonald's here is also. I mean, there's a lot of like American companies do franchising here. German companies tend to not do franchising. We want to be in control of what happens.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the gas stations in Germany are a big fucking thing, because what they'll do is when one of the gas stations raises or lowers the price, in a matter of minutes, the other gas stations will follow suit. And so that way they can have like a price gouging cartel without actually having to meet in a smoke-filled back room and produce any actionable evidence for the antitrust police. That's pretty fucked up. So yeah, there's a big oligopoly on gas stations in Germany. And also most of the money that they make, they don't make from petrol. They make it from the shit you buy at the gas station.
Oh yeah, that's the same. That's the same here. It's like a local company here called Get and Go We also have Come and Go, which they really capitalize on.
They really capitalize on the K.
Yeah. Their name is TUMNGO, and they sell lots of T-shirts with that logo.
I wonder why.
Yeah, they're in on the joke, but yeah, they franchise from like British Petroleum or Texaco or whatever gas companies in their franchises. The only ones that aren't are like the truck stops, like Flying J, Pilot, Loves. Those are all corporate owned.
Yeah, I mean, corporate owned truck stops are also pretty. I mean, we love our autobahn, you know. We have a big highway culture here. They're also all privately owned. Like, I've never been to anything on a highway that wasn't owned by a big corporation. Except the truck stops where there was nothing. Which we also have.
Nothing.
Yeah, it's just a big parking space. That's it.
Nice.
And there's a
like the truck stops here, they have big parking spots, and they have like a couple fast food places like McDonald's or Arby's or Wendy's or Pizza Hut, and then like a full convenience store and like showers, and you can get high-speed internets, and
you can't get high-speed
Are we talking about
internet
like truck
anywhere
stops?
in Germany. That's just
I've
high-speed
spaced out
internet isn't a
entirely.
thing here.
yeah, no, like there's Wi-Fi everywhere here.
It's
Wi-Fi.
all over Europe. Like even the fucking third world of
You can
Europe
live
has
without a
better
phone bill
internet
here.
than Germany
It's crazy.
because it just sucks ass here.
How does it
It's
feel?
it's like living in Australia.
How does it feel to know that fucking Serbians have better internet than you?
It's the point at which I feel extremely German. Like what we did, right? We had the post office built all the internet infrastructure, and then the government gave it to a private company. And
that was really stupid.
That was extremely stupid. And that private company can just do certain things. Like, you can build your own internet infrastructure that's completely legal. But when they request to also, you can open the streets and lay down your fucking fiberglass cable, which some communities in Germany do because telecom just won't go there. Which, by the way, T-Mobile is also owned by that same company, that German company that got everything for free. But when Telecom then goes and also wants to put their fiber optic cable next to the fiber optic cable that the community paid for, the community has to allow it. And then you have two sets of fiber optic cable in the ground for no reason at all. And because Telecom will not actually go to like remote villages and put down fiber optic cable there. I live in a city. It's pretty good here. It's decent. I'm not even on the DSL network or anything. I'm not even on the phone line network. I'm on the Vodafone cable network. But they will, after the communities have actually spent the money to build the fiber optic cable there, the Telecom will also go there and then build the extra fiber optic. And they have to be given preference, so they own the last few meters. And they have to sell bandwidth to third-party operators, to other ISPs. But somehow Telecom, which is also the most expensive of all the fucking ISPs, also has the best and most reliable speeds, even though they're not allowed to throttle the others, which they totally fucking do.
Well, see, I know here, like, we have, like, the actual wireless providers like Verizon and AT&T and I think T-Mobile. And T-Mobile's fucking weird because, as like you just mentioned, T-Mobile, they're a big company over here as well.
Oh yeah, T-Mobile is big internationally.
Yeah, it's like Vodafone is basically Verizon outside of the United States. But it's like Verizon and AT&T and T-Mobile will build up all the infrastructure for like wireless internet and communication and everything, and then they'll just rent it out to other companies. Like,
well, it's nice that T-Mobile builds infrastructure outside of Germany.
Yeah, well, it's like here where I'm at, Verizon built up everything, and then they just rent it out to other companies. Like, so it's like if you want like a prepaid phone, like again from Walmart, it's like you go into Walmart and you're like, I want a phone, I want prepaid. You buy your phone, you buy the prepaid plan, and it's like it's Verizon providing it, but you're buying it from another company, and they just rent it from Verizon. You know, and that's sort of how it works out here.
Born to be squeezed. Corporatism is a fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's how internet works in Germany also, and that's why internet in Germany is fucking garbage. Like, I mean, you have some of the worst internet in the developed world.
It's weird out here because the best internet is in the places where the least people live. It's like it's
not disruptive or expensive to put down that much fiber optic cables.
Yeah, because if you go like to San Francisco or LA, internet is fucking garbage.
Yeah, because it's like, super expensive to rip up all the fucking lines and replace them with fiber optics. Fiber optics is super expensive to play.
Meanwhile, exact opposite in Germany, just the exact opposite.
Yeah, meanwhile, here in fucking South Dakota, I pay $70 a month. You
pay what now?
I pay $70 a month. I get gigabyte internet down and 200 megabytes up.
Is Burger saying that because it's expensive or because it's really cheap?
Yeah, is that expensive?
Yeah, I gotta know.
What? Yeah, that is like I pay for extra high bandwidth internet, and I pay like €50 a month, and I get like
is it €50 like
32 mbits down and 10 mbits up?
No, I pay $70 and I get gigabit speed down.
I got a good word on this. The price for internet here is the same everywhere. It just how much you get for it varies.
Yeah, like
I paid the same amount.
€30 for internet.
Yeah, I paid $40 back at my family home for nothing, and I pay $60 now for like literally 100 times.
I paid $100 back whenever I had internet, but that's because it was a Comcast monopoly.
Like, if you pay $100 in Germany for internet, it's because you're some kind of corporation, like a tech company. That's the only reason to pay that much.
No, I
think we figured out why your infrastructure is shit, because there's not nearly as much money in it.
Oh, yeah, telecom makes phenomenal profits. They make absurd profits. It's like genuinely the profit margin of the telecom corporation is just fucking obscene. They just don't invest ever because that's better for the fucking shareholders.
Yeah, like my ISP Midco, they have like a grandma package for like the grandma who just like checks her email, and it's like 5 megabytes down, like 1 megabyte up, and it costs like fucking $7.
That's decent.
What the fuck? If I was paying $7 for that back at my family home, I would have been fucking so happy. I paid $40 for that bullshit.
Yeah. That's like for the grandma.
It's all location here.
Who doesn't know how to reset her router?
It depends on if there's infrastructure. And it depends on if there's a monopoly. That's how it works here. Otherwise, you're getting a decent deal, but you're still paying the same price no matter what.
Most places have a monopoly. I've never been to a place that had more than 2 internet options.
Here, there's a ton of options, but there's only one option that gets more than 50 megabytes. So
that's the same here. We have a lot of options, but only one option is good.
I just don't get that. Just every time I go, because usually what happens, right, is I'll move into a neighborhood, and the neighborhood will have a deal with the internet providers for laying down internet lines when the community's made. So there's only lines for that internet provider. So like they'll just be Comcast, or they'll just be Bright House. Or maybe there's like AT&T.
Or they'll be Verizon and a subsidiary of Verizon or something.
Okay, so just as like the catch-22 of my apparently it's a really awesome plan I have is that during this conversation my internet has gone down twice because there's an ice storm outside. And it's
mine just goes down randomly every day.
It's like I get that really high speed at the expense of if my internet goes down, it just goes down. They don't guarantee it at all. Like they don't guarantee. Yeah, if you want guaranteed speeds, you need a business account.
Dude,
like
Siobhan?
Well, it's like they can give you all the speed you want, but reliability, you need a business account. You know, you need to pay extra for that.
I mean,
maybe that's just where you are.
And people get mad.
No, I had a thing where my fiance, who was living with me at the time, she was working from home for a telemarketing thing. It was like a timeshare. People buy timeshares. They call in to ask questions about it. But anyways, so she worked from home, and our internet went down, and we could not get anyone to come out to us for like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So we just had to move all of her stuff to her parents' house so she could work there.
Yeah, like reliability, if it goes down, it will go down unless you...
I don't like live in the boonies thing. This was like next to the airport in Orlando.
Holy shit. I mean, I thought I had it bad, but Jesus.
I'm sure this is very riveting for the people watching at home.
Yeah. Well, and we should also mention this doesn't happen all the time.
I mean, Yellow Cheese, you probably have excellent internet.
He's being taken by the KGB as we speak.
Bye.
He's Norwegian, so they're fucking crazy.
Wait, what? Yeah, I pulled out my fucking headset by mistake. I was going to pull out my charger cable.
It's like...
So yeah, they found out that the Germans found me. They figured out I'm Jewish. They're taking me.
Like the best internet in the world you have in like Sweden and South Korea. Like all of the fastest internet speeds in the world it's either one of two things. It's either one state-owned internet company, like in South Korea and like Sweden. There might be private options, but like primarily it's the state-owned company. Or they have extremely strict antitrust shit, like in Denmark. And then you get really fast internet. When you actually have like a state-backed monopoly, like we have in Germany, it is garbage.
No, I love the fact that we have like lots of private entrepreneurs here, because this is one company that I don't use that have been legitimately like creating lines that go across the entire country. So like even if you live in, buckfuck nowhere, you're still getting internet.
Yeah, you have really good antitrust laws in Norway.
Oh, probably. I don't fucking know. I don't read the laws. That's my sister does that.
I don't know. Arch Warhammer seems to really like Norway.
Norway's cool. I want to go there someday.
Yeah, Norway's pretty cool. Come here, I'll show you shit around.
Where do you live in Norway?
Currently Bergen.
Give us your home address.
Really up north.
No, Bergen is second largest city. It's practically straight west from Oslo, I believe.
Oh, so like I'm thinking of Tromsø.
No.
Wait. I've heard Bergen. I've played Euro Simulator.
Yeah, I come from a little place outside of a city called Stavanger, which is number 4.
Oh, I know.
Where all the oil is. That's where all the oil is. So, and I'm
sorry. Does someone need some freedom?
Well, we're already part of NATO,
Man, I can't believe that's
not free enough.
Stavanger. I can't believe that they have a need for a democratic uprising.
We gotta bring democracy to them right now.
Yeah.
Isn't there a guy?
Only two parties, and the two parties have been kind of battling out for Stavanger for the last.
Yeah, I heard there's a guy named Quisling we need to take care of. Isn't he like the most hated person in Norway?
Probably.
Yeah.
Who's this Quisling character?
He was Scorpion. Norway has a state monopoly on oil. As does Alaska.
Not completely.
I mean,
they have like 60% of the share or something.
Yeah, but that's the controlling share.
Yeah, so they do control, but there's still enough leave room, and they're also pretty liberal about what they do with their control.
Okay, so Quisling, from what I understand from history, Quisling was the guy who sold out Norway to the Nazis.
I can give you a pretty detailed history if you want.
What a prick.
Apparently he's like the biggest dickhead in the world because of that.
Let Yellow Cheese explain it.
I can give you a little brief summary. Like before, like I think it's in the 20s. Like in the 20s, he was defense minister of Norway. Don't remember which party it was from. Probably like some of the shitty parties, but
defense.
Yeah, and when he advocated for a war against Denmark because he wanted control over part of Greenland. It's called
a war of defense. Obviously.
Yeah. Well, remember that Greenland was a Norwegian possession until we were sold out to Sweden. And there's this
under Danish possession.
Well, yeah, Norway fell on the Union to Denmark.
Scandinavia is just incest, apparently.
But there's this part of Greenland that had like 50 Norwegian huts versus 5 Danish huts. Therefore, should be Norwegian. And he got fucked out of government because of that. Because he tried to do that. So he created his own party with some grassroots and good old fashioned fascism. And then he traveled back and wanted like German support for his movement and shit. This had very little impact to like the plans to invade Norway, because there's multiple other reasons why you want to take out Norway during World War II. But when the Germans invaded, he literally went on the radio without German permission and called himself the new prime minister, and nobody accepted him. And he tried to lobby to become prime minister, and he finally got it in like 1942, I believe. And by that point, he was so hated by Norwegians for being like a guy that proclaims, the fucking Nazi government before they've even like started fighting.
Imagine giving a shit about Greenland.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine having a name like Quisling.
So I am okay in saying that Quisling is the biggest piece of shit in the 20th century.
No.
They're probably the biggest Norwegian shit.
I mean, okay. Aside from like Stalin and Hitler, like locally, if I said Quisling and people sneered at me, I'd be like, yeah, you know what's up.
Yeah. I think I've heard that his name is like synonymous with like traitor, essentially. Like here in Norway it is, but I don't think
he's a Benedict Arnold.
Well, okay, so like in the book World War Z, not the movie. In the book World War Z,
which is actually good. The book, I like.
The book is very, very good. But in the book, they call the humans who have lost their mind and think they're zombies, they call them Quisling, because they're traitors to the human race, because they want to pretend that they're zombies. So they call them Quislings.
I love how that's something that they get into. Like, World War Z is the most realistic zombie apocalypse book.
It's one of the best zombie apocalypse books. Honestly, if they wanted to like make a live action version, it should have been like a series on Netflix or HBO.
Yeah.
Like, it's the whole point of the thing was you have various different characters in various different parts of the world living out various different lives, and then you had just whatever his name is be all of those characters, and that was the film.
Well, it's Israel completely blocked off in the book too.
Yeah, they blocked themselves off completely from everything.
Fucking epic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Israel. Very cool.
Yeah, I like how that's like one of the few stories where Israel's the good guys.
They're not even really the good guys. They're just the people who do some of the most to protect themselves.
Well, and they lead by example. I also like what was the one chapter about the dude in South Africa, and he's like he's considered so evil, but he's like one of the heroes because he's so fucking evil. Redeker is his name, I think.
It's been a long time since I read that book.
Well, it's because
what did he do? What was his character?
Well, because he was the guy who lived in the prison in South Africa, and he talked about how he made plans for when the non-whites would uprise.
Yeah.
Well, he made the battle plans for when the non-whites would uprise and overthrow the South African government. And he was tasked with creating the plan that would help South Africa survive the zombie apocalypse, which was making safe zones and then making fortified zones where the fortified cities would take the brunt of the zombie apocalypse while protecting the safe zones. And his system was the most effective, but it was also the most evil because it killed a lot of people.
Oh, I recall vaguely. He was some sort of apartheid person.
Yeah, because his original
actual apartheid advocate.
Yeah, because he basically just took his plan for when the colored people would, and I'm just saying that in reference to, apartheid South Africa, when the coloreds would rise up and overthrow the white population. It's like he wrote the battle plans to protect the white race, and he just
the guy who was just in a wheelchair, and he survived the zombie apocalypse in a wheelchair, and the wheelchair saved him from zombies.
because he was the guy, he was the artist in Wenatchee, Washington, who fucking the zombie's hand got caught up in the wheels of his wheelchair, so the zombie couldn't grab him, so he had time to pull his pistol around and blow the zombie's head off.
Oh, I was thinking more like maybe he sat in the wheelchair because he was rolling downhill. He goes faster than anyone running.
No, it was literally the zombie got its hands caught up in his wheels, so he had time to pull out his pistol.
I seem to remember. Oh, I don't remember this, but I remember I saw this movie, probably a shitty movie, but I really thought the concept was interesting. There's this movie I saw the back cover of a long time ago, 2012. That has stuck to me because it was the idea is that we have a zombie apocalypse, right? But it's been contained with the exception of Africa. So all of Africa, with the exception of a couple of fortified towns on the border, or on the coast, are completely filled with just zombies running wild. And I'm thinking maybe not realistic, but that's an interesting way of putting it, right?
Remember how in World War Z the zombies would hop into the ocean and be carried to different parts of the world? Because they were just floating corpses.
I do remember this.
Yeah, I just like that a lot. Just the aesthetic of a bunch of floating bodies hitting shore and then standing up and walking on.
We've been going for 2.5 hours, I'm realizing right now. Holy shit.
Well, I do like how in World War Z, Iceland was the most dangerous area for zombies because it was the perfect conditions for them on Iceland.
Oh, they get frozen.
Yeah, and so they survived the longest on Iceland.
Yeah, because they're so cold that they don't get the bacteria don't eat them up. Maggots. But think about
But yeah, what really brought me into the whole World War Z story from the book was just the whole story of the Palestinian refugees who went back to Israel from Kuwait, and the kid was just he was fully prepared to be a member of ISIS, but he just had his whole reality constantly questioned, where the Jewish doctors treated him so well, and the Israeli government treated his family very, very well, giving his dad a good job and stuff. And when the war finally came to where they lived, he was like, yes, finally, I can finally smite the Jewish infidels and stuff, he realized that it wasn't like Islam versus the Jews. It was Orthodox Jews versus Israel. It was like he found himself in the middle of a fucking civil war where the old school, like old fucking rabbis were sick of Israel being so progressive, letting Palestinians in, and they just started a civil war in the middle of a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah,
and it's such a just nuanced book. It's brilliant.
But the thing is brilliant about that is because the reason that Israel has like an increasing Jewish population is because there's such a massive increase of people on the like super Orthodox religious side, right? They get like enough money from the government to spend their entire days just sitting reading the fucking holy text.
Oh,
they're just Gopnik Jews.
No, I'm Jewish myself, and I fucking hate
brother.
I fucking hate Orthodox Jews.
I hate anyone who's Orthodox religious.
Not good.
And anyone who takes religion above anything else.
Yeah, because they're
for Eastern Orthodoxy, brother. This is good.
Well, that's just a different interpretation of the magic book. Sorry.
So let's stop. It's been going for 2.5 hours. It's getting pretty fucking late here.
It's almost 3 hours. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was like.
Are you up so late? Go to bed.
Yeah. Was it like 1 a.m. over there?
Yeah, 1:12.
Yeah, it's around that time. It's usually like in the next hour I will go to sleep most of the time.
Same, but I have somewhere between 5 and 10 YouTube videos gotta watch. Holy shit.
So thanks very much for watching. Do contact your grandmother because she did sponsor this episode and she really would like to talk to you.
Yeah. If your grandma's still alive, call her up and say hi.
If she's not alive, go to her grave.
If she passed away in between sponsoring this video and now, you were probably the reason.
Yep, definitely. You were definitely the reason. Yeah, and basically, see you around, cunts.
Goodbye.